cat whispered in the eastern wing halls. Secrets spilled like wine splattered on the walls. The script was written, twisted and bold. Truth was the fire, but the lies took hold. Did you think the sun wouldn't rise behind the curtain of your disguise? The fall of the crown. The truth's been found. Echoes screaming loud, treason in the sound. The house of cards is tumbling down. The fall of the crown. The fall of the The stage was set with a web of schemes. Dreams of power, but they split at the seams. A puppet show for the world to see, but the strings snapped loose. Now they're breaking free. Smoke and mirrors, they don't last long. When the tide turns, when the world catches on. Did you hear the whispers turn to shouts? The truth, my friend, always finds a way. The fall of the crown. The truth been found. Echoes screaming loud, treason in the sound. The house of cards is tumbling down. Fall of the crown. The fall of the
Hey guys, how's everybody doing?
How you doing, everybody? How you doing, Rich?
All right, how was your week?
Oh, it's not too bad. Not
Yeah.
too bad.
So you're loving the retirement now, aren't you?
Busier than ever. This week we got a friend in from Florida,
Oh, cool.
so he's been with us for going back this weekend. He'll have been here 2 weeks. So
Yeah,
even busier. Yeah, retirement. I'm busier than I've ever been.
I hear you. Well, we got a couple announcements I want to bring out on the top. Ozzy died. We all know that. That was a real loss. And
All right, R.I.P. Ozzy. You know, he and his friends from Birmingham developed a whole new genre of music.
yeah,
Yeah, he is an icon.
he brought in Randy Rhoads.
Yep.
You ever hear how he died?
Randy Rhoads was an airplane accident.
Yeah, but do you know what he was doing when he died? They were on tour, and he was flying, and he spotted the bus, and he was trying to buzz the bus, and he hit the roof. That's how he died.
Was it Randy that was flying, or was it somebody else flying? I think I
Randy
thought there was a.
It was Randy that was flying. That's the official story I heard years ago. And I was like, why would he? Like, I could understand him buzzing the train or the bus because that would be kind of funny, you know. But then he hit the bus. That's what I heard.
That's not funny.
No, not at all.
And then we lost another icon. I don't know if you heard about that. Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, Hulk Hogan. Let me. Oh, I got to turn my mic down. Why am I not?
Hey everybody! Looks like we got 15 people in here already. Cool. Hey, Chris. Hey, Bass. Hey,
All right, there we
Anglo.
go. Now my mic's fixed. I hate
Uh,
sometimes
hey, everybody. I can't say everybody.
StreamYards changes like our peripherals, the devices. So it always changes my mic, and then I get a mic where I'm blasting out to everybody. But hey, that's small
Hey,
stuff,
Jimmy,
right?
your brother's in the house, by the way.
Oh, is he? What's up, Jim? Oh, let me see who's here. Hey, Chris, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Bass, hey, what's going on? Anglo, I know. Rest in peace, Ozzy, man. Hey, what's up, dude? Thank you. Hey, Pam, what's going on? Oh, yeah, Pam is with her friend Lisa tonight. Hi, Lisa. Nice to meet you, I guess. They're doing a girls' night, I guess. What's up, Bass? Who else is here? Jimmy's here. Yeah, Jimmy from Philly. My brother's in the house. All right, we got other people that are coming in. Cool. We can start like in a minute.
And
But yeah, Hulk Hogan.
yeah, Hulk Hogan,
He died. Then who was it? Connie
71.
Francis died.
Oh, did Connie Francis die? I
Yeah,
didn't hear that one.
she died as well. And Malcolm Jamal Warner from the Cosby Show, he died.
He might
He
give it a
drowned.
go.
He drowned. He had his kid out there, and he was swimming with his kid, and he drowned. Hey, what's up, Chris? Good to see you, man. Simon, how you doing, bro? Yeah, he drowned. I couldn't believe that. He was a good guy too. Out of all the people in that show, he was a good guy, and yeah, he was with his kid swimming. I don't know how he drowned. I didn't get the scoop, but that's a horrible way to go, right?
Drowning is no good.
Oh, it's not fun. I don't recommend it. My doctor said don't go near it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But let's see. Let's go over what again, guys. It's a fire hose.
Before we do that,
Go ahead.
you got my message that I'm on a time schedule tonight. I got to leave. I only can give you 2 hours tonight.
Oh, that's all right.
Did you give me? Did you get my message?
No.
Yeah, because yeah, we got guests like we were talking about before the show came in. We got
Right.
guests in, and so we got
Cool.
some plans.
Yeah, that's all right. I was going to go a little longer tonight anyway.
Okay.
'Cause we
All
got
right,
a lot
everybody,
of,
you get to fly.
stories.
You're going to get to fly solo with Rich here after a bit.
Hey, 42. What's going on, brother? I'll be there tomorrow night. Yeah, everybody, if you don't know, I'm going to be on 42's channel tomorrow night on The Right to Return. So I'll be there. The special guest, I watched her. She's an Aussie, right? She's from Australia. I think so. She's political. She doesn't like Trump, I'll tell you that much. But I just watched a couple of her videos. She's good. She's good on screen. Let's go to this. So Trump says he's thinking about sending tariff-funded rebate checks to Americans. He can think about that a lot, as far as I'm concerned. Tranquilizers, mood swings, and rage. The House Intel chair dishes dirt Russia dug up on Hillary. The cover-up begins. Establishment media, the fake news, is going to fight tooth and nail to bury Obamagate. It's not going to happen, though, because they got too much evidence again. See, they classified everything so that they could bury it and hide it. Well, they found it and they declassified it, so he's screwed. Tulsi refers. What's that?
But you know, all the libs are just going to say, no, that's just fake news. I don't believe it.
Is it 10:30 time? Yeah. Yeah. You guys here are late, man. I appreciate that so much. You have no idea. Tulsi refers Obama for criminal charges after debunking top Russia hoax lies. This one's going to be great. It's Caroline Leavitt rips into the legacy media for perpetuating Russiagate and rewarding the plotters. They were in on it as much as anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Here you go. They've created a brand new RNA technology that they want to spray on all our crops. Now, can you believe this crap?
Now, that sounds safe. Safe.
Like, what could go wrong, right? Now, I know in Missouri, the state legislature came up with a law and the governor signed it saying that if you put mRNA in beef, like in cattle, you have to mark that off on the package. Like it has to say mRNA, and you can't say, biological, whatever. You have to say mRNA induced because people don't want to eat that shit. If you tell you, the jab, you're not going to want to eat it from a cow, right?
These days, anything that says mRNA, I'm what you call shy.
Yeah. Yeah. Show us your
and that's from the point. That's from the point of view of a physician, by the way.
Right. Yeah. All right. So let's see. Obama's self-incriminating defense. That's pretty funny. You have Democratic Party tries to pin record high 2025 grocery prices on Trump, but it completely backfires as everything else does. Yeah, this is a big one. U.S.-Japan trade deal is a masterpiece. Trump signs executive order forcing homeless off America's streets. Finally, get them into a hospital, get them into rehab, get them whatever the hell. And then we have the fire hose here. So I guess, let's see, we'll go here. Liberty Daily, which is a good aggregate site, but come to mind. Why not? President Donald Trump said on Friday that he was contemplating sending rebate checks to Americans using tariff revenue. Now, you know, the Dems, they hate the tariffs because, see, the United States before the 16th Amendment, which was never ratified legally. But anyway, that's another story. But the United States made their money off of tariffs, and they were doing so well that they had to create a department that had to figure out how to dish it out to all the departments because they had so much money. They didn't know what to do. But then they wanted to control the American people, so they voted on two things. What was it, 1912? And it was December 23rd. They voted on the 16th Amendment, and they voted on creating the Federal Reserve Bank because they had to have a Federal Reserve in order to pull off the scamming of the 16th Amendment. So the U.S. government ran a $27 billion surplus in June, fueled partly by record tariff revenue, which exceeded $100 billion for the first time in a fiscal year, Reuters reported. God bless Trump. When a reporter asked Trump at the White House if there was a chance of a rebate for Americans due to the revenue, the president said his administration was prioritizing paying off debt, but that a small rebate for some Americans, which means none of us are going to get it, was possible. Let's see.
Mr. President, with all of that revenue coming in tens and tens of
won't let me
billions of dollars, do you think there's the possibility of a rebate to the American public in terms of all of that money?
We're thinking about that, actually. We have so much money coming in. We're thinking about a little rebate, but the big thing we want to do is pay down debt.
Right.
But we're thinking about a rebate. That's a very good question. You just made a lot of news. We're thinking about a rebate because we have so much money coming in from tariffs that a little rebate for people of a certain income level might be very nice.
Yeah, you know, when Trump pays a compliment to a reporter, that person becomes a superstar because they didn't get trashed, right? All right, here we go. Hillary. The Hillary list. Just the news. John Solomon's gig. House Intelligence Committee Chairman Rick Crawford from Arkansas is confirming that Russia gathered dirt on Hillary Clinton worthy of a hard rock song, including tranquilizers, mood swings, and outbursts. Great. But remember her? Remember she was doing that when she was having all those seizures whenever light hit her? But withheld it during the 2016 election in hopes of using it against her if she were elected president. Really? Who did? Oh, the chairman. Okay. Russia had it. Quote, the fact is there was never an association with Russia. And Donald Trump, Crawford said Wednesday on Just the News, No Noise TV show, what this document shows is that, if anything, they had a preference for President Hillary Clinton because they had information on her that they could exploit after the fact. I also heard today that they didn't want Trump because he was too unpredictable and he couldn't be bought. But they knew that she could. And why? Because of the CFIUS board when she did the Uranium One thing, right? Her husband went over to Russia, spoke with Putin when her State Department said he couldn't go. But he went anyway and cut a deal for $145 million. It was a nice donation, wink, wink, to the Clinton Foundation, the money laundering scam that they ran. And so she got everybody on the board to vote to approve of that sale of Uranium One, which was a Canadian company, but they owned 20% of U.S. uranium. And that sale helped Putin, who they're all claiming, was helping, Trump. She helped Putin corner the market on North American uranium by that purchase. But you won't hear these slobs and fake news tell you that. A newly declassified House Intelligence Committee report released Thursday by Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, after years of being locked away at the CIA, alleges the December 2016 intelligence community assessment glossed over evidence that Putin may have instead favored, or at least fully expected, a Hillary Clinton victory 9 years ago. Quote, the judgment that Putin developed a clear preference for candidate Trump and aspired to help his chances of victory did not adhere to the tenets of the ICD, the Intelligence Community Directive, analytical standards. The ICA ignored and selectively quoted reliable intelligence reports that challenged and in some cases undermined judgments that Putin sought to elect Trump. Of course they did, because they wanted Hillary. And Hillary would have been a control freak, from what I understand. Not just people, but corporations. Oh, she would have been awful. She would have brought in the same type of dystopian views that the Bidens did during COVID. She would have brought that in somehow. That's what she wanted. And that was from Dinesh D'Souza, who did some research on it. He said that in an interview with, I think it was on The Blaze. The ICA failed to consider plausible alternative explanations of Putin's intentions indicated by reliable intelligence and observed Russian action. So in other words, we don't need to read the rest of it. In other words, they were full of shit, once again, saying that Russia wanted to help Trump when it was really they were hoping she would get in. And so a lot of the news tonight's going to be on this subject because it just too many things came out. There's too many angles. It's just great. All right. So here's the cover up. We'll do that one next. The cover up of the Obama. It's saying cover up begins. Established media is going to fight tooth and nail to bury Obamagate. And the reason why, I always say this to the lefties, Barack Obama is their Ronald Reagan. It's that simple. Throughout the years, everybody that they protected, like they protected Joe Biden, but they weren't really protecting him. They were protecting Barack because everything that Joe Biden did, Barack was the only one. Like when he did, like he took money for influence, right? So when, like, if China got something signed because Joe took $31 million, which he did, well, it wasn't Joe that had the authority to sign off on it. It was Barack. And so they were protecting Barack the entire time. Don't let them kid you. On Alex Marlowe's show on Thursday, Breitbart White House correspondent Nick Gilbertson talked about media reaction to the newest documents on Russia and the Obama administration. Gilbertson said that the establishment media, I got the sense yesterday, they're going to fight tooth and nail to just make it go away. Of course, you would think they would learn. There were murmurings in the briefing room as Gabbard was laying some of this out. I heard somebody murmur liar in the back of the room. There was some grandstanding and some veteran establishment journalists that were in the back of the room too.
Well, that's what I was saying a minute ago, is that they're just going to say this is made up news. They generated fake documents and it's all a lie.
Sheila,
that's what they're going to say.
What's going on? Hey, girlfriend, how you doing? Volume Dealer, wow, haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back. Good to see you, man.
But that's what they're going to say.
Yeah, well, what they're already doing is they're coming out and saying, like, they're all over Twitter, well, X, and they're already forming their bullshit stories. They're saying things like, well, we know for a fact that Russia tried to influence the election, and they stop there. They don't go through because they would be full of crap, and we would know it. But what they're trying to insinuate is, well, we know that Putin tried to help Trump. But what they're referring to, whether wittingly or not, because they are liberals, they're not that bright. What they're referring to is that the Russians purchased, I think it was like 50,000 Facebook ads, $50,000 worth of Facebook ads, but they were both pro and negative for Hillary and pro and negative ads for Trump. They were just trying to sow chaos. And that's the only thing that's true. Okay, so he wasn't favoring anybody. Russia wasn't doing that. They were just trying to sow chaos by proposing and shooting down both candidates on Facebook. So if you want to call that, you can't see him? Well, it's Volume Dealer 1. He's coming up, Jim. Ramble. I don't know. Maybe you're blocked. I don't know. Do you see him on the screen, Jim? I just put him up. There he is. Let me get him off. All right. Let's go to the next one.
Actually, you know what? I'm not seeing Volume Dealer 1 either.
Oh, I do. Wait a minute. Show. There he is. Do you see him on the screen down below?
I see him when you bring him up, but I don't see him on the feed. He's not on the feed.
Oh, wow. Well, I see him. He's right there.
Just bring it up as an ordinary feed. He's not there.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I see him in the chat, though. I'm looking at him.
He's not there. If it's just an ordinary feed, he's not there.
What do you mean ordinary feed?
Just bring it up as a YouTube feed. Don't bring it up in
YouTube. Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, you know what? You're right. Let me see.
Just bring up the YouTube feed. He's not there.
Yeah, he's not. Oh, wow. I see him because I'm looking at him in StreamYard's feed. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm
great.
thinking. Outside of StreamYard, just bring up the YouTube feed. He's not there.
Oh, that's crazy.
So I don't know why. I didn't do it.
Yeah, I didn't do it. Wasn't me. So here we go. This is the good one. Tulsi refers Obama for criminal charges after debunking top Russia hoax lies. I had people on Libnuts on X today trying to say, like, what was the crime? There was no crime. I said to him, yeah, well, they classified the actual assessment. And then he held national security meeting and told all of them, the heads of all the intelligence departments, that they had to come up with dirt on Trump to manufacture it. That's not a crime. That's treason. They were trying to take down a duly elected president-elect. That's treason. Sorry, it is. D.N.I. Gabbard said on Wednesday that she was referring former President Barack Obama for criminal charges to the Department of Justice. Quote, we have referred and will continue to refer all these documents to the Department of Justice and the FBI to investigate the criminal implications of this. I really hope that Pam Bondi hands it over either to Cash or Bongino, because anybody else, I don't trust them. The evidence that we have found and that we have released directly point to President Obama leading the manufacturing of this intelligence assessment. And people go, well, what's the big deal? So what? Well, wait a minute. They spent 38 million taxpayer dollars on this bullshit. They went through the Mueller probe, right? And meanwhile, the whole time, the Clintons were getting rich off the Russians, right? So what do you mean no?
And they knew, they knew it was all bullshit.
Hell. Yeah,
they knew it was all bullshit.
They knew it was bullshit. And you know what else? They knew, like, all these people, like Brennan's still out there trying to play the victim. Well, we knew that this assessment was correct. No, you didn't. You knew the opposite, because they used the Steele dossier. Okay, they used that, and the whole thing is very simple. They used the Steele dossier to be able to get a warrant on Carter Page. Carter Page was a guy that was working for the Trump campaign. The reason they picked him is because Carter Page had done business in Russia. He goes back and forth to Russia because he has a business that he does business with certain companies in Russia. And so they wanted to use him. They knew he had nothing, but they did it for what's called the 2-hop rule. The 2-hop rule means that if you have a target on a FISA warrant, anybody that target communicates with, you're allowed to spy on them as well. That's what it's called, the 2-hop rule. I don't know why that, but and so Carter Page, in the position he was in the campaign, he spoke to almost everybody. So then they said, okay, we can spy on Rudy now. We can spy on any of Trump's kids. We can spy on this. We can spy on that. That's what that whole thing was about. And George Papadopoulos, look what they put his ass through, right? So they did a lot of they lied to a FISA court to get a FISA warrant, right? They knew that they said the dossier, without the dossier, no warrant. But they knew the dossier was bullshit. And how do they know? Because Bruce Orr told them. He got them all together. I've said this before. He got them all together in a meeting, and he told them, he said, look, don't use the Steele dossier to get your warrant. They're like, why? He said, because it's garbage. Like, how do you know? He goes, they hired my wife to write it. Nellie Orr, they hired her to write. Her specialty was Russia, so she would know how to put flair into it. So she wrote it for Fusion GPS. And so he was trying to warn them. He warned them all. I think Comey was there. McCabe was there. Peter Strzok and his lover, not his wife, Lisa Page. I love saying that. They were all there. All right. Even Weinstein. What was it? Alex Weinstein? I forget his first name. That scumbag that had a 9-0 overturn by the Supreme Court when he went after a Republican senator in Alaska. He lied, cheated, fabricated evidence, withheld exculpatory evidence. Real scumbag.
Sounds like a Democrat.
Yeah, and he was, and Biden hired him, of course. Right. So here we go. So let's see. We'll just play.
Do you believe that any of this new information implicates former President Obama in criminal behavior?
We have referred and will continue to refer all of these documents to the Department of Justice and the FBI to investigate the criminal implications of this.
For even former President Obama?
Correct. The evidence that we have found and that we have released directly point to President Obama leading the manufacturing of this intelligence assessment. There are multiple pieces of evidence and intelligence that confirm that fact.
Yep. Exactly. They can't get around it. That's their problem. They're like, oh my God, Trump's in again and he has loyal people around him. So they're screwed.
Sucks to be you, boy.
Who, me or Jimmy? I don't know who you're talking. Sheila, how you doing? Let me see. What's next? Oh, Caroline Levitt. This is great. Hold on. Let me.
Yeah, for Obama, it kind of sucks to be him
Oh, I know.
right now.
Yeah. I wonder how Michael's taking it. Here we go.
The president said
This is
yesterday
great.
that Obama committed treason. Do you or the White House believe that the
Wait
Supreme
till you hear
Court's
this
immunity
takedown.
decision protects Obama from
There's a
prosecution?
better one, but
Look, I can speak to the president's feelings on this matter. He spoke to all of you yesterday in the Oval Office, but I also spoke to him about this morning. And he wants to see all those who perpetuated this fraud against our country, who betrayed our country and the Constitution, to be thoroughly investigated and held accountable. And it's been 10 years of this. And I would just add, based on everything the director has said and declassified, all of you in this room should go through it and take a look at this report and review the intelligence, because unfortunately that hasn't happened. And many of the people who perpetuated this hoax, Clapper, Andy McCabe, James Comey, and many others, have been hired by major networks in this room to go on television and continue to spew these lies, knowing that they are lies. And if you all recall, just flashback to 2016 and the years after, the entire Trump 1 presidency was embroiled in this scandal that was perpetuated by the Democrat Party. And you had major Democrat Party officials in this city, namely Adam Schiff, Hillary Clinton, Elizabeth Warren, who went on television and told the American people, Donald Trump is an asset of Russia. It was a lie. They always knew it. Hillary Clinton herself said that President Trump would be a puppet for Putin. Senator Tim Kaine at the time called President Trump Vladimir Putin's defense lawyer. Adam Schiff stated, and one of the worst things a lawmaker can do is to tell the American people, I know something you don't know, it's just classified and I can't tell you. And that's what he said. I can tell you that the case is more than that. I can't go into the particulars, but there is more than circumstantial evidence now. And not enough people in this room, not enough journalists in this country pushed Adam Schiff to say, what are you talking about? What evidence do you have? Everybody just ran with the lies, and it led to impeachments. It led to the division of our country. Unfortunately, so many Americans, from listening to outlets in this room, believed in these lies. And it's a complete scam, and it's a scandal, and the president wants to see accountability for that.
I love when she talks like that. She's talking to the press directly. I just love when she says that. Hey, what's up, Tina? Good to see you. Yeah,
So, Jimmy,
go ahead.
Jimmy, I basically agree with you. I would like to see something happen to Obama and his colleagues, but I will be surprised if anything significant happens.
Yeah, well, that's because nothing ever has happened.
Yeah, but there's a new sheriff in town too,
And they're calling, and he is calling for criminal referrals, and he's getting them.
Yeah.
Think about it.
I will be surprised, but I hope to be surprised.
Yeah.
I think until Trump was in, there's zero chance of any consequences. But Jimmy, you and I are gonna wait on it and see what happens.
Here's one. Hang on. I'm gonna play another takedown. And this is just freaking brilliant. All right, ready? Let me get this off. Get this up. Okay. Hold on. All right. This is a takedown of Christopher Steele, the guy that manufactured the Steele dossier. All right. This is freaking awesome. So here we go. Let me bring it up.
Well, I know Christopher Steele probably wanted to go
Steele,
down in
bottom
history
right.
as someone that colluded with
That's
the
him.
Clinton campaign to take down President Donald J. Trump. But I really think that you represent probably the ultimate grifter in the American political space. For you to even come on here, obviously you're trying to sabotage what President Trump is doing when it comes to Russia and Ukraine. But to sit here what is it, nearly a decade after you tried to smear President Trump as a Russian asset, to then say, well, I think he's a Russian asset, but even though I'm really good at my job and create all these intelligence reports, it's just sort of a feeling that I have. I'm sorry, what stones do you even have left to turn over to try to corroborate your claim that President Trump is a Russian asset? You what? Weaponized FISA courts, surveillance, warrants, not just domestic spy agencies, international spy agencies too, the entire DNC apparatus, a bunch of political operatives and registered foreign agents here in the United States. The American people would really appreciate it if you would stop injecting your efforts to curtail and totally tank the America First movement by smearing anyone who doesn't want to get involved in forever wars or continue the needless and ceaseless dying of Ukraine and in Russia, just so you can sit there from your nice perch and just continue to defend the globalist world order by continuing to fan the flames of conflict in Russia and Ukraine. And you know what? The same people that you ally yourself with here in the United States, you think you're so good at gathering intelligence. Last time I checked, it was the 51 intel agency officers, spies, who said that the Hunter Biden hard drive, which I've reported on firsthand, it's legitimate. You want to talk about president's sons who are involved in businesses with foreign countries? Well, I'd like to introduce you to Hunter Biden, right? When those 51 people that I'm sure that you know all too well, you were probably likely involved with the drafting of that letter, said that was Russian disinformation. Well, it turned out that that was true, and shame on you for the last decade trying to inject the idea that smearing President Trump as a Russian agent or a Russian asset is somehow going to tank the MAGA movement. It's about putting America first, and the fact that you can still sit here and you have no actual evidence beside one random Russian meeting, and oh, we need to just continue to get more evidence. You're a complete political hack and grifter, and I wish the American political scene didn't have your voice in it.
I love it.
Christopher, you're about to leave us because you're only here for this part of the panel, but your response finally to that.
Nick.
My response is that I'm a professional intelligence officer and an expert on that part of the world. I'm not a politician.
Was the Hunter Biden hard drive Russian disinformation then, if you're such an expert?
Let him finish. Let him finish. So I've been a loyal and close ally of the United States for probably most of the last 40 years. I've worked extremely closely with officials working for administrations.
You see, he's going down a list of things that he's done. He's not answering the question. He's full of crap.
Both Republican and Democrat. I have a very strong US client base for which I've worked and produced information over many years, none of whom have ever made any such allegation.
Yeah, well, we do. So what?
Against me. And it's palpable nonsense to claim that I'm in hoc with politicians.
I'm so glad the Clinton campaign didn't say that about you.
Well, I never worked for the Clinton campaign. I never had any contact with the Clinton
He was a contractor.
campaign. That's the reality.
I was going to say that's bullshit.
I think Fusion GPS would beg to
I
differ.
produced a report
contractor
for a partner firm in Washington, and the results of that report made me, as an ally of the United States, as I would have expected an American counterpart to do, to report back in what I found to the contacts I had in the FBI at the time.
Yeah, and it was all flaming bullshit. All of it.
What do you think about this? What do you think about this? I mean, I agree with most of the comments saying that Obama is probably not going to get taken down, although there's with Trump, yes, he did abstain from going after Hillary, but I think he really is a new sheriff this time around, and I think we could see it. Here's what I think would be just so delicious.
Yeah.
You get valid charges, you get indictments, maybe you get convictions, and then on like Obama and Hillary,
yeah,
you got to be careful because you don't want to motivate the Dems. You don't want them to make them feel sorry. So Trump becomes magnanimous and he says, for the good of the country, I'm going to pardon these individuals.
Yeah. Well, somebody said earlier that he didn't go after Hillary.
Yeah, somebody said that. I forget who it was, but
it was Willie's. Everybody, do me a favor, hit that like button if you haven't already. It helps us out. Thank you.
Yeah, but Willie, the other thing is, don't forget, this is second term. First term, he did not have the people behind him that he needed.
He had a bunch of people around him that hated his guts and were doing everything to get rid of him.
This is a new sheriff.
Right. Oh yeah.
So I think I think what would be so delicious, Obama and Hillary get pardoned by Trump for the good of the country.
I wouldn't do it. After all the shit she did, look, he said it was a big
but it
mistake.
shows him being magnanimous.
Yeah, but they wouldn't care. He wouldn't get any political. Hey, what's up, Andromeda? Good to see you.
No, but he would from like the independents that might feel that they don't want to see.
Oh, I see.
You know, that I don't know. I just think that would be delicious.
Yeah, the thing is, I just don't. I don't think he should at all. I think he should go.
See, because
if anything,
we're talking about three different groups. You've got Trump supporters that are pretty much going to continue supporting him, whatever.
Right.
You've got the libs, which it doesn't matter. He could cure cancer and AIDS tomorrow, and they'd still think he was horrible.
With cancer. Yeah, they would side with cancer.
And then you've got the 1/3 of the people in the middle. Then that's who you're aiming for.
Right.
And if you piss them off by making them feel like you're picking on Clinton and Obama, maybe they don't like that. But if you show that, yes, they're guilty as dark sin, but for the good of the country, feel that I should pardon them. He looks like a better person. He's not being petty.
Let me ask you this then, and I understand what you're saying. I get it, but let me ask you this: when he let her go the first time, what he said was, "I think they've been through enough." Okay, and she shit on him look. She wrote a book called "What Happened," and I saw the counter book that Trump wrote that said "I happened." But anyway, she wrote the book and went on the longest freaking book tour I've ever heard in my life. And on every stage she sat on, she said the same thing. You could work hard. You could run a really great campaign, and then you can have it stolen from out under you because of Russian influence. Yep. That's what she said. She kept saying it. And she knew when she was saying it that she's the one that started it all.
Yep.
Cyberbully, what's going on? Good to see you.
Chris, Chris, there's a comment by Chris. Chris, there's a proviso to that. The Supreme Court did say that the president has protection, but only for actual official
capacity
duties, in his official capacity.
What's up, Bobby?
If you're doing something outside of what you should be doing, like the example I believe they used at the time is, if President Trump walked down into the middle of the street and shot somebody in the head, he would not be protected from that.
Right. They broke it down into three different things. And the first is if he's doing something as official president and it's an official presidential event, then he has immunity. The other two, he doesn't have immunity. The next one was if he does something official as president, but it's not at an official event, okay, then no, he doesn't. He doesn't have immunity. The third is obvious. If he does something that's not an official act as president and it's not during an official presidential thing, then he doesn't have. So, but
yeah, go ahead.
No, you go.
Okay, I was going to say, Babadi, you are absolutely correct. That would be half of the deliciousness. Bring up his comment. That would be half of the deliciousness is that the pardon would be predicated on them coming clean and saying what they did. And that would get them the pardon. And I think, I don't care if an individual goes to jail. I care mostly that this is brought to light. Any one individual.
Oh, I understand. I know what you're saying.
It's the underlying corruption.
I think it would be brought to light. Maybe it's just me. I think it would be brought to light a lot better if she was tried and convicted.
Yes, tried, convicted, have to go on record saying what they did and then get pardoned. And
I wouldn't pardon
and then
her.
all of a sudden,
put her on. I'd have her wear an ankle bracelet for like 6 months at home.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah, put an ankle bracelet on them. Basically,
ankle bracelet her in hell. That's where.
Yeah,
that's where I think she belongs. Yeah, in hell.
So, I think that would be delicious, and have them have to do full disclosure to get the deal. And I just think that would be amazing. Show the corruption.
Yep.
That's what I want.
Well, that's why they're doing it. They're saying it can never happen again to a president. And I say it can't happen again to a country. Hey, what's up, Lou? What's going on, brother? Ball and chain. Yeah. The ball and chain. Yeah. Let's see. Next one. Yeah.
Yeah, but it sounds like she was in worse health than we even suspected, though.
Yeah, with all the stuff that was going on. Yeah. I remember when she grossed me out when she was drinking from that water and the pneumonia, I don't want to say, like jumped into the cup, and I was like, oh my God. She had pneumonia when she collapsed, and they held her up and put it through her in the car. Remember that?
Yeah, but she's got COPD. I don't know if she was a smoker or not.
Oh, I don't know.
That's usually how you get COPD, is smoking.
Yeah.
That's like 99% of chronic obstructive lung disease. That's how you get it.
Oh, wow. All right.
Smoking.
Democratic Party tries to pin record high 2025 grocery prices on Trump, but it completely backfires. So the Democratic National Committee drew widespread mockery Thursday. We mock you over the since deleted social media post that showed how the cost of groceries skyrocketed under former President Joe Biden. The X post included a graph of soaring cheese, alcohol, dairy, grocery, produce, and meat prices dating back to October 2019, with the major inflection point being near the start of the Biden administration in 2021. Trump's America read the tweet. See, they're such jackasses. Like, they didn't see this. They don't understand what that means. Prices are higher today than they were in July 2024. All in major categories listed below, read the caption on the graphic, which did not note the source of the data. Of course not, because they're idiots. The White House's Rapid Response X account, that's great, seized on the post, adding a Biden label with two arrows pointing to the price jumps under the previous administration. Yeah, see that? Biden. Yeah, exactly. The Biden-era price surges, highlighted in red by the White House, took up the majority of the graph, whereas the more stable cost of goods under Trump was only a sliver of the chart. Several people on social media pointed out the cell phone of the Democrats. I don't know, kind of looks like Biden's America, Matthew Rosario wrote. Conservative, Kyle Becker, okay, described the tweet as one of the dumbest posts in X history, noting that the DNC deleted it after getting ratioed into oblivion. We have popular X personality Greg said that the tweet might be the biggest self-own I've ever seen on this website. You got to love it, man. The White House version of the chart highlights the massive jump in food prices under Biden. Under Biden, inflation surged to rate. Yeah, you know what? They tried to say, oh, inflation's real low. No, it was pretty damn high. Under Biden, inflation surged to rates unseen since the early 1980s. Thank you, Jimmy Carter, another Democrat loser, peaking at an annual rate of 9.1%. Now, a lot of people don't seem to understand this. They go, well, it's only 3% now. Yeah, but it's cumulative. So if you had 9% one year and 3% the next year, you don't have 3%. You have 12% inflation. That's how it works, because everything that's manufactured under that 9% is now being sold when it's only 3%. And they got to sell it at the 9% cost, or else they lose money. And
yeah, it's an acceleration. It's an acceleration, not a speed.
Exactly. And so they say, well, it's down to 3%. Yeah, but so now you got 12%. Congratulations, you fool.
Yeah, so now we're back down to like 2-something%, but we still have the inflation history.
Now, get this. By the end of Biden's term in the White House, the cost of food had ballooned more than 22%. From the time he took the oath of office. Federal data shows. That's federal data. That's not Fox News, as they always cry. Drafted there, making Trump look better. Yeah,
exactly. Not that Fox News is much better.
They're not, but they always go Fox News. And they spell news. They don't realize that the X is silent.
I'm assuming everybody knows who owns Fox News. It's Rupert Murdoch.
Right.
Rupert.
He just put a hit out on Trump.
Rupert Murdoch
Journal
is the same guy that owns the Washington Post. Rupert Murdoch.
No, he doesn't. That's not. No, the Washington Post is owned by the Amazon guy.
Oh,
Yeah, no, what he owns is I think the New
What other
York
one?
Post. He owns the New
no,
York
not the
Post.
New York Post.
I think he does. Well, let's look it up. What does Rupert Murdoch own? Let's see. News Corp, Fox News, the Wall Street Journal, the New York
Wall
Post.
Street Journal. I'm sorry. I was.
Yeah, but New York, he does own New York Post, and he owns
Oh,
the
he does
Daily.
own the New York
he
Post.
owns
I'm
the-
surprised.
He in
But it's-
Australia he owns the Daily Telegraph, Herald Sun, and the Australian, and
Yeah,
others. In
no,
the UK, he
it's-
owns the Sun. I used to read the Sun. He owns the Sun and the
Yeah.
Times.
I was
Yeah, he
trying
owns a
to
lot.
think of the Wall Street Journal, and I was thinking instead of the other one,
That's all right.
Washington Post.
Let's go with this.
It's Wall Street Journal. And Rupert Murdoch desperately hates Trump.
Oh yeah, can't stand him. Can't stand you. Trump signs executive order forcing homeless off America's streets. It's about. Let's see what she.
Head. Caitlin's report from the front lines is powerful, it's poignant, and it's marking a new.
Who cares what she says? All right. President Trump signed an executive order Thursday calling on states and cities to end endemic vagrancy. So what's going to happen? Red states will do that for the betterment of their people, and the blue states will have all the homeless people from the red states move into their states. And then the blue states are going to ask for extra grant money from the feds, and we should give them a big double barrel. That's what's going to happen. So President Trump signed an executive order Thursday calling on states to end endemic vagrancy and rehouse homeless people, probably in drug rehabs or mental homes, including drug addicts and those suffering from mental problems in treatment centers. Exactly. It's where they belong. The order redirects federal funding to prioritize shifting homeless individuals into long-term institutional settings for humane treatment through the appropriate use of civil commitment. See, the problem with that, remember the bag ladies? You guys remember that? We had the bag ladies. What the hell are these bag ladies doing? All they had was a bunch of bags. They carried their shit around. That was because the liberal do-gooders created the rule of 72, which was the rule that said you can't be held beyond 72 hours of observation if you're not deemed a problem, like dangerous to yourself or society. Okay, so they had to let all these people out of the insane asylums, and they did nothing to help them assimilate back into society. Right. So that's the way liberals think. All right, we got this problem. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? They sit around and go, all right, I got this. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, problem solved. Let's move on to the next problem. They never look at the problem that they created. Right. They don't look at the fact that, they always say things like, well, things would have been worse if we did nothing. No, bullshit. Things would not have been worse if you did nothing. You did a lot of damage to people. And this is liberalism in general. And they did the same thing with the homeless. So now people feel that they have a right to be homeless. Excuse me? The right to be home. You're allowed to shit on someone's sidewalk. Because I got friends that are like just outside San Francisco, and they told me that it's getting even. They're in Nancy Pelosi's district. Shame on them. But they said that people shit all over their pavement, the sidewalk. They're sitting on everybody's steps. If you live there, you got to go around because they're not going to move for you. You got to go around them to get into your own house. Stores had to shut down because people didn't want to walk in with needles and trash and their sleeping bags and their tents all in front of it, plus the human debris that's on there. So Trump is right. Get rid of them. On average, more than 274,000 people were sleeping on the streets each night last year under President Joe Biden, the order says. Look at all these people. Yeah,
and,
look, I got my drugs.
And they won't clear them because if you call the police, they won't clear them because they got nowhere to put them.
Exactly.
They got to put them, in front of somebody else's house?
Yeah, that's what they'll do. So it says the overwhelming majority of these individuals are addicted to drugs, have mental health disorder, or both. The document says. Now I watched what was it called? The Soft White Underbelly. Did you ever watch that channel?
I think I've seen a couple of things from
Soft White Underbelly. There's a guy on there that does the show, and all he does is he picks people from Skid Row and he puts them in front of a big white backdrop and he just interviews them. Right. And it's very fascinating. I heard one time he went around with another guy that does pretty much the same thing. So the two channel guys are walking around Skid Row in East Los Angeles. And what happened is they were talking. They said, he says, yeah, well, right now at this time, he goes, we normally wouldn't be allowed to walk down here because they would probably rob us blind and probably hurt us. And he goes, they learned that I make people famous down here. So I guess they kind of like me. right? Because he puts them on YouTube, right? So something fascinating I heard him talk about. He said, what we need to do is go after the children first. I'm like, okay, you sound like a liberal. But he said, because the adults here, down here, he goes, they're a lost cause. He said, you got people down here that they get 3 meals a day because all these corporations, they donate money for food. He goes, over there, they got free showers. He goes, here they can where the free showers in the same building, they can charge their phones. And he goes, and you see this hotel here? He said, I forget who it was. It was some corporation bought it and let them live in it, right? And he goes, so you go to them and you try to talk to them and say, look, why don't you have some dignity, get a job and all? And they're like, wait a minute. You want me to be able to have bills, right? See where I'm going? You want me to have bills, to have to wake up early in the morning to go to a job when all I could do is just stay here, right? But he pointed out, he said that everybody on Skid Row was on drugs. And this is the part that I like. He said, everybody is on drugs. He goes, and you ask, well, why is everybody on drugs? And he says, you peel a layer off and you find out that everybody has a mental problem. You go, wow, why does everybody have a mental problem? And you peel another layer off and they say, well, everybody has a mental problem because in their childhood, all the way up to teen years, they were abused either sexually or physically by an adult that they were supposed to think protected them. So he said, so the people that are here now that are adults on Skid Row, he goes, forget them. He said, they're a lost cause. He goes, just pay to feed them and all. He goes, but go after the kids in these types of homes and try to get involved so that the kids don't get on drugs because they're abused. And a lot of it had to do with foster parents. For some reason, there's a lot of foster parents going on in LA. And he said that if you can get to the kids at a young age, he goes, we don't even have to take them away and put them in the system. He goes, all you have to do is make them go to a court mandated class like once a week, where they teach them, that you don't have to grow up the way your parents did, or, you don't have to be there if you don't want to. And then we'll talk to your parents if they're a problem or if you're a problem, but I just found that fascinating because I never thought of it that way. Anyway.
No, but it's the bottom line is, why would they want to get a job when they have things provided?
No, I think Kevin Bacon should play his role in the movie. What do you think?
If I can throw a plug in here, anybody, sure, if you haven't hit the like button, please
What's
do.
Up, Curious Georgia?
It helps. It really helps. Yes, exactly.
If you pay your bills long enough, you might get to pay the property taxes. Yeah. What's up, Evan? Yeah. Good to see you. Soft wiped underbelly.
Under Philly.
Jimmy from Philly wiped. That was a name that he had because he kept losing his channels because he didn't play by the rules. Your play with words.
But yeah, it really does help if you can hit the like. And that would be appreciated.
Let's see. What's the next? Oh, we're still reading that one. Okay. The overwhelming majority, the federal government and the states have spent tens of billions of dollars on failed programs that address homelessness, but not its root cause, leaving other citizens vulnerable to public safety threats. Trump has complained for years about homeless encampments along major roads in Washington, D.C., and proposed reopening insane asylums to house the nation's most dangerous street people. Now, this is an 80-20 thing, right? This issue, 80-20. 80% of the people are going to say, yeah, you know what? They do need help. And maybe if they got help, they don't mind paying taxes for that. Maybe if they got help, they'd get off the street somehow, But they will take the 20. The Dems will support, just like they flew down to El Salvador for Garcia, right? For Kilmar Abrego Garcia. They will go to hell and back to help street people. They're on the 20%. It was not immediately clear how much funding would be steered toward the new initiative or whether there would be a parallel effort to reopen long-shuttered institutions as a public safety strategy. The order identifies assisted outpatient treatment. There you go. Come get your drugs and an envelope of money to buy more drugs, it's assumed. States and municipalities have already cracked down on illicit drug use and urban camping. They call it camping. Loitering or squatting and tracking sex offenders will be prioritized for grants. Yeah, the worst of the worst, they're going to get more money right away. President Trump is delivering on his commitment to make America safe again and end homelessness across America. He's never going to end it, but he can quell it down a lot. By removing vagrant criminals from our streets and redirecting resources towards substance abuse programs, the Trump administration will ensure that Americans feel safe in their own communities and that individuals suffering from addiction or mental health struggles are able to get the help they need. I think Trump is probably one of the only ones in politics that is sincere about helping them, but I think he has to know it's not going to happen, because people get out of drugs and all that when they want to. There's no like if they don't want to go to a rehab and they're court assigned there, they'll go, but it's up to them, really. Are you afraid?
Yeah. The
tickets or something? They don't like free mulch.
No, we just don't like to have an app that maps out the human feces on the sidewalk.
Yeah. New Scum was just on the topic of street people homelessness. Yeah, you know what? He did that. You're right. You're right, Andrew. I mean, he came out and he was acting all angry and righteous. It's just wrong that these people. I'm like, dude, you are the one that helped it happen. You're the one, when he was mayor of San Francisco, he pushed for all kinds of funding for homeless people. It's like he created the problem. Now because he's running for president, he's acting like, I never wanted this. This is just horrendous. Who's responsible for this? Just hold a mirror up to him.
But, here's the thing. If they get rid of all the homelessness, how are they going to drive their buses around and pick all these people up on voting day?
I know. That's true. That is true. Well, let's just have to fake it like they usually do. Yep. All right. Next, Obama's self-incriminating defense. This is good too. From American Thinker. For 2 decades, Barack Obama has demonstrated through words and deeds that his deference is toward no one other than himself. This is a man who behaves as if he were ordained to deliver America from the faults of the 42 presidents that preceded him and to straighten out any president who succeeds him. That is why it took the former commander-in-chief a whole 7 days of being subjected to prison memes and accusations of treason to manifest public indignation over being perceived as anything less than messianic. Barack Obama pretends that he would never levy a war against the U.S. or take up arms against the American people. He did that. He killed 2 Americans with drones, and they did nothing wrong. However, by providing material support to a party at war with the Constitution, it appears he would, and he has. The only difference is that Obama's weapons of warfare are political subterfuge, deceit, and manipulation. Partial to what constitutes misinformation and what does not, the former president defended himself against the recent controversial accusations coming from the Trump administration in response to Donald Trump's statement that Obama and his band of sleazy warriors committed treason. During and after the 2016 presidential election, the former president sent out a spokesperson to address what he is calling a desperate distraction, misinformation, and bizarre allegations. That guy Nile, whatever his name is. Obama is reacting because the current Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, recently declassified documents revealing that he was integral in a plan to cover up intel gathered by then Director of National Intelligence James Clapper that proved Russia tried but could not exercise influence over the 2016 election. Because the intelligence did not serve the left's goal to diminish Donald Trump in the eyes of the nation, the then president of the United States chose instead to cover up the facts. In place of making the truth about Russian non-interference public, acting under his guidance and approval, Obama and his administration coordinated a treacherous plot to promote the idea that Russia was the only reason Trump defeated Hillary. And see, when people believe something like that, it's like when they stole the 2020 election, right? A lot of people no longer trusted God. I didn't trust government anyway, but a lot of people no longer trusted government because they're doing all this kind of bullshit. And so when you try to undermine a president. That's the best way to destroy his chances of governing. And that hurts the country if he's like a Trump. And they didn't want him to make America great again. Okay. So after being exposed this week as untrue, Obama had this to say about the contents of the declassified document Gabbard made public. Quote, nothing in the document issued last week undercuts the widely accepted conclusion that Russia worked to influence 2016 presidential election and did not successfully manipulate any votes. See, I said earlier, and I'll say it again, that it doesn't matter that he's lying to these people. The people in the press, they don't care that he's lying. That when he's talking about that, he's talking about Facebook ads. That's the only thing that they found, that they did buy Facebook ads, but they were to praise and to destroy both Hillary and Trump. They were just
but Rich, he's already backing down here. Look, he said, but they did not successfully manipulate any votes. How many times has he said that they're the reason Hillary lost?
Well, right. They can say that, but they have to say that they didn't manipulate because they didn't. I mean, it could be.
Well, yeah, but up until now, he's been either saying directly or implying that Trump won because of the Russians.
Right.
When in fact, if anything was going on, it was the Chinese helping Hillary.
Yeah. The Russians were helping Hillary as well. And,
I don't know what else? That.
With that,
but the Chinese, and it's like in the election last November, the Chinese were sending fake driver's licenses and fake printed ballots.
American license. Yep, they did.
They seized. Well,
that was 2020 though.
Yeah, they seized like multi-thousands of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did it in 2024 too.
I think they did. Yeah.
They seized a bunch. They seized like a whole cargo load.
Hey, Linda, what's up? Good to see you. Oh, you've been in Scotland. Oh, cool. Very cool. My grandfather was from Scotland and Glasgow. And I used to hear his accent. All. She's a good little gettle. I was like, "What, Mom? What's a gettle?" She goes, "A girl." I'm like, "Oh, all right. Why does he say gettle?" Gettle. She goes, "Because he's from Scotland." That was her father. There's a little anecdote growing up. So, The statement is pure Barack Obama, defensive, imperious, tacitly demeaning, and a snide reiteration of truth. The clever one that he is, Obama even threw in widely accepted conclusion, as well as citing Trump's Secretary of State Marco Rubio for good measure. The former president acts as if he first found out this information in 2020. And while some might take his word at face value, the question that arises is, why would Obama think his statements proves that he's innocent of treason? In essence, Obama's retort just restated intelligence he knew before the 2016 election, but seemingly suppressed to try to taint the outcome. The 2020 findings that Obama cites to prove his virtuous support of democracy were confirmed 4 years after Obama already had the information. What he fails to mention is that instead of being transparent in 2016, he chose to keep it secret. That's exactly right. Let's see. As a result of the propaganda Barack Obama personally promulgated, lives were destroyed and reputations ruined. A president was politically crippled and unjustly persecuted for 4 years over a scandal that required a congressional committee to determine what we now know Obama knew beforehand. Stunningly, Barack Obama has chosen to defend his tarnished reputation by basically saying, I am innocent of this treasonous conspiracy because the information I knew about but purposely didn't mention in 2016 was proven to be true in 2020 by a congressional committee. How does that work? He's right. These friggin' lefties are just nuts. If Obama had revealed the truth in January 2017, the 4 years of unnecessary trauma and political animosity the nation endured would never have happened. Barack Obama had the power and influence to set things right, but his ego, hatred for Trump, and his evil intent toward anyone who disagrees with him led him to do otherwise. As a result, the nation and its people suffer, and the political war Obama spent 8 years cultivating continues 9 years after the initial intelligence was made known to the person who could have brought healing instead of division. In other words, Barack Obama's a piece of shit. And we all know it.
This is my shocked face.
Yeah. The one to sign America up with the 2030 agenda. Yeah, he was involved in it. The 2030. They were all into the Agenda 21 nonsense too, which they had to rename the Great Reset because everybody figured out what Agenda 21 was. But if you read Klaus Schwab, if you read his book, The Great Reset, it basically reads like Agenda 21. It's the same stupidity. So let's see. What should I read? I'll go up top. Oh, wait a minute. Tulsi. Yeah, we read the cover up. Okay. We're going to go up top. Here we go. Video DOJ meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell just wrapped up. Here we go. Trump says, I'm allowed to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell in return for the Epstein evidence. Everybody's now going, you can't pardon her. And he's like, so what the F do you want? Do you want the information of the Epstein list or don't you? You know, because you all
make up my mind. Make up my mind.
Really. So he goes and says, yeah, I'm thinking about giving her a pardon if she spills everything. And of course, the U.S. attorneys, the lawyers, the prosecutors, they're all going to put conditions on that. You have to do X, Y, and Z. You have to give us X, Y, and Z, or else it's null and void. So she went for it because she wants to get out. I'm surprised she wasn't Epsteined by now. I really am.
Well, the only reason she hasn't been is because she's got that list. That's the problem.
I think so.
She's holding that. If you ask me, she knows things, and she has a variety of incriminating evidence socked away with her lawyers, probably multiple lawyers, that if anything happens to her, and everybody who would want her out of the picture knows that that's what she's done. So that's the only reason she hasn't been taken out.
Yeah. Day 2 of the DOJ's meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell just wrapped up, and they are, of course, mum on what was said in the meetings. But from what her attorney said afterward, they want Trump to give Maxwell a pardon, presumably in a good faith exchange for her testimony. Here's the Fox report.
New at 2, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche's meeting with convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell has ended. And this as critics are calling for more transparency in the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. Welcome back as we head into hour 2 of America Reports. I'm Sandra Smith in New York. And Bill, great to have you here today.
Great to be with you as well, Sandra. I'm Bill Malugin in Los Angeles. John Roberts has the day off. That meeting, Sandra just mentioned, just wrapped up moments ago. Maxwell was escorted back to the prison from the courthouse in Tallahassee. Her attorney said they had a, quote, productive meeting with Blanche, but details of their talks still remain under wraps right now.
All right, Fox Team coverage is at the ready. Chief legal correspondent Shannon Bream is live here in New York City, standing by with analysis. But first, let's get to our justice correspondent, David Spunt. He's got the latest from Washington for us. So, David, what else did Maxwell's attorney say?
Well, he said a lot. We wish we could be in and hear what was said in the actual meeting. This meeting was a lot shorter than it was yesterday, but this was a 2-day event. The highlight, though, it appears that her team wants a pardon. Watch.
We're going to take one day at a time. I know that's very cliche, but it's true because things are happening so quickly. We haven't spoken to the president or anybody about a pardon just yet. And
look at the woman behind. Let's see what she's saying. As Trump's.
Listen, the president this morning said he had the power to do so. We hope he exercises that power in the right and the just way.
As Trump's something, why are you okay with that? Trump's patsy or something?
It was something about Blanche.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Sheila wants a Dr. Jade moment this week. Do you have anything?
Yeah, I don't know that we're going to get them. We've got guests, and I gotta hike out of here early.
All right. Well, you can do it now. Do you have something to read?
Nothing ready.
Oh, you don't have anything ready? Bummer.
No. No, we might have to do that next week.
Yeah,
I need to work. I need to work harder at making that a regular thing.
Yeah. And the long lost clip of the week. I got demonetized on the first night we did that because the clip I played was an old commercial, I think it was, and had a copyright hit on it. So any money that was made that night went to them. The bastards. So what time you got to leave?
I was watching a video this week. Okay, this is my anecdote for the week. Okay, I can tell you an anecdote. So,
we can do a Dr. Jade moment of the week.
It's a Dr. Jade moment.
There you go. Sheila?
Okay, off the cuff. It's an anecdote. So I was watching a video this week, one of the channels I follow is kind of on future science, cutting edge. Yeah, we'll try and get one next week. So it's on cutting edge technology, science, and robotics and medicine. And usually at the end, they get the guy puts a past future moment. So new tech, in the past. And this video I watched, it was that moment was the original commercial for the very first TV remote control by Zenith.
Oh, wow.
And it was kind of amusing. But what is the real amusing part of it is I remember watching that commercial.
See? No shit. You just aged yourself. We had a Zenith growing up.
Yeah, Zenith, and it's this big clunky thing with big clunky switches and
made to last 100 years.
And I remember watching that commercial. So that's my anecdote.
It wasn't exactly a Dr. Jade moment, but it was an anecdote.
It was close. I'll try and come up with something.
Let's see. What are we going to do next?
You know what I want to see? I want to see, where is it? Yeah, I want to see the one about Alina Habba, Trump DOJ to New Jersey judges. That is so wicked. I'd love it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know what they tried to do. Where is it?
It's like 5 down from the top.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. No to judges. Yeah. So the story right off the bat is federal judges in that district hate her because she is okay. Thank you. They hate her because she's, she supports Trump. So they didn't want her. So what happened is they tried to force her out. She was in a it was an acting position, I think it was, as U.S. attorney, and they didn't know whether they were going to put her in as full. I thought they should because she's pretty good, but the way she handled all those cases for Trump, and Trump had to step in and goes, up yours, guys. You're not telling me what to do. In the end,
yeah, I love this. It says this Attorney General Pam Bondi fired Grace, the one that they wanted.
Oh, yeah.
Saying this administration doesn't abide by the rulings of rogue judges.
Right. That's what she said. So interim U.S. Attorney for New Jersey, Alina Habba, was almost booted from her job. Last week, federal judges voted to reject extending her tenure, opting to elevate her deputy, Desiree Lee Grace, for the job. It was planned to take effect once Habba's 120-day interim appointment expired. The Trump justice, now that's a slap in the face when you bypass, the person that should get it and go for the subordinate. That's a total slap in the face. So it's not enough that these assholes act like rogue judges, right? Jacobins in black robes. They try to put national injunctions against everything he wants to do. Now they're messing with his personnel, right? Attorney General Pam Bondi fired Grace. I thought they should have, saying this administration doesn't abide by the rulings of those guys. So now Miss Haba is acting U.S. Attorney for New Jersey. She's staying. Rogue judges are hardest hit. That's kind of funny. Do we have to read that? I don't think so. So she wrote, Donald J. Trump is the 47th president. Pam Bondi is the Attorney General. And I am now the acting United States Attorney for the District of New Jersey. And if she wants it, I think they'll give it to her after the acting part is done. I don't cower to pressure. I don't answer to politics. This is a fight for justice, and I'm all in. Good for her.
Oh, Alina Habba, she's bad. She's
oh yeah.
And isn't she the human rights lawyer now? Civil rights lawyer?
I don't know.
She's Trump's.
She was doing things.
I thought she was Trump's civil rights lawyer.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, hang on. We got something here. It's Hillary Clinton at the World Forum 2025 on the future of democracy. I remember this. Yeah, I remember watching. We'll play a little bit of it. Okay. Here we go.
Secretary Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Booze off of that. Forms a cloud around her where she goes. Where do you see this?
Thank you. Thank you, Yaka, for assembling this group, convening us together at this time of such peril in our world.
Peril because
Thank you for reminding us of universal values and human rights being at the core of democracy and freedom and peace.
What a joke.
And thanks to all who are here on the stage as well as in the audience for being here bearing witness to what we are confronting. There's no way to sugarcoat it. There's no way to explain it away. Autocracy is on the march, and we now have a government in the United States that has thrown in its lot with the autocrats, which has made a choice to support those who wage war, not peace.
Are you kidding me?
Who have given enormous power to the men who control the information flow in our world.
You know, this is what I love.
The information flow in our world.
You know, this is what I love. Damn, what's going on here? Huh. What the hell is going on here?
The information flow in our world.
Huh. You know, this is what I love. Hold on. Sorry, guys. What's going on here? I don't know what the hell just happened.
Wow. We've got three of each of us.
I know.
Now
I have
on
no
the
idea
screen.
what just happened. Like, what the hell happened? Hold on. Stop the screen. There we go. I'm just sitting here and I'm like, what the hell's going on here? They just redid the studio in here and there's a lot of cool stuff, but I think they didn't test it the way they should. That was going to be long anyway. But the point was, people like Hillary, they go out and they talk about how they're fighting against these evil things, and yet you go, wait a minute. The internet has a history. You did all those things. So now you're the one that's going to cure it? You did it all. You did all these things. You know, Hillary Clinton was responsible for China and Russia having hypersonic missiles. Do you know that? No, you don't.
Not sure I knew that.
Because the media will not tell you that. And how does she do it? It's because of Skolkovo, which was Skolkovo. She brought it up when she was Secretary of State. And it was a money-making scheme for her and the foundation. But the idea was we're going to make a Silicon Valley for the Russians, like for Slavic countries and all that. And she was saying to people, oh, look, if you want to get in on this, you know, and you want to, you know, become a startup tech firm, just let me know. And I'll tell you how much money you got to put into the Clinton Foundation and you're in, right? Well, they were able to do dual type of modeling and invention. So They came out with the hypersonic missile, and I think Russia sold some of the plans to China, to the Communist Chinese Liberation Army. And in other words, thank you, Hillary Clinton, for our enemies having missiles that are so fast that they could hit our target before we know that they were launched. And yet she's standing there talking about creating wars and all. Oh my God.
No, she's one of the worst. She's one of the worst warmongers.
She's a real piece of crap. Let me see. Trump identifies Obama, Trump, DOJ. Nope. Russia hoax revelations. This is one Chris sent.
What about that finally real American justice has come for violent Antifa thugs?
Yeah, we'll do that next. I'm just going to look this over. Russia hoax. This page is simply a place for me to bookmark the timeline of revelations relating to the 2025 declassification. Oh, very cool. The first Chris sent this to me earlier today. The first release of declassified documents on July 18, 2025 by Tulsi Gabbard, Trump's Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi. Why did he say her name? All right. These documents, followed by others, implicate President Barack Obama in late 2016, orders the intelligence community to create intelligence to sabotage President-elect and then President Donald Trump's presidency, the most egregious weaponization and politicization of intelligence in American history. So what this page is a chronicle of all the crap they did. That was the document that Tulsi put out, pointing out all the... I thought she did a pretty good job on that, too. Her office did. But look at this. It goes all the way down July 23rd, 22nd. And it goes all the way down. If you got... Oh, wow. I'll put this link in the description of the live stream.
No one, especially the president,
Trump
is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
Nobody is above the law.
No one is above the law. Nobody is above the law.
No one is above the law.
Except
No
you
one
guys.
is above the law. No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law. No one is above the law.
No one is above the law. Oh, son of a bitch.
That was funny. I'll put the link down because it looks like it's a pretty good chronicling. Now, what was the one you wanted to look at?
Finally, real American justice has come for violent Antifa thugs.
There we go. By the way, Mike Lindell won his case.
Yeah, he won his case. Yeah.
Yeah, $5 million. Finally, real American justice has come for violent Antifa thugs.
Yeah, I want to see that.
For far too long, violent Antifa radicals have been able to terrorize cities, assault cops, torch federal buildings, and walk free within hours, thanks to the left's insane bail reform policies and a justice system that treats them like misunderstood protesters instead of the domestic terrorists that they are. But that era may finally be coming to an end. In Texas, on the 4th of July, no less, a group of heavily armed Antifa radicals tried to ambush and kill ICE agents. Yeah, they were throwing giant rocks at them at like point blank range, too. They weren't protesting. They weren't chanting. They were hunting for human beings. And now one of the suspected ringleaders is behind bars with a $15 million bond hanging over his Marxist head. That's the highest bail ever set for a captured Antifa terrorist in U.S. history. And it's about time. Here's the full background on what happened on July 4th by The Guardian. 10 people have been charged with attempted murder after allegedly ambushing U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE agents in Texas on July 4. Federal prosecutors said attackers drew the agents out of an ICE detention center in Alvarado, Texas, with fireworks and by vandalizing vehicles. They allegedly shot a police officer in the neck and unloaded between 20 and 30 rounds on immigration agents. Are you kidding me? They're using guns now, Antifa? And were later apprehended by local law enforcement near the scene. Quote, "It was a planned ambush with the intent to kill ICE correction officers," said Nancy Larson, U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Texas, at a press conference on Monday. Make no mistake, this was not a so-called peaceful protest. It was indeed an ambush. Let's see. And this high bail amount was the update that shocked everyone. So Texas Andy no, yeah. Texas Antifa gunman Benjamin Song's bail is set at $15 million, the highest ever in U.S. history for a captured Antifa violent suspect. So it's a guy? All right. Yeah, I guess it is. He's accused of being one of the ringleaders in the shooting ambush on ICE where an officer was shot in the neck. Now, they started shooting people? Holy crap. Yeah, well. What did it do? Yeah.
You didn't have a screen share up with that one.
I'm sorry? Yeah, I
You
don't know
didn't-
what's going on. Yeah, the software is really screwing up. That's what I thought. I was like, where the hell did it go? The software is really screwing up tonight. Normally, if it's me, I'll
The
admit
man
it,
at the center of a blue alert, a top 10 most wanted fugitive in the state, has been arrested in Dallas. Benjamin Song is accused of attempting to murder 3 officers at an ICE detention center in Alvarado on the 4th of July. Fox's Dion Anglin with the story.
Coordination is the correct way to phrase that. I can't go into detail exactly what we know about how they coordinated, but this is correct. It is not random.
The FBI apprehension of alleged shooter Benjamin Song and another brings to 15 the total number of arrested suspects in the July 4th attack at the Alvarado ICE Detention Center. The arrest of Song at a Dallas apartment Tuesday evening is considered a key development in the case. An FBI SWAT team took Song into custody without incident. The initial U.S. attorney complaint describes the aftermath of a nearby wooded area following gunfire at Prairieland Detention Center that left a responding Alvarado police officer shot in the neck. That officer is recovering. The document notes the discovery of 2 AR-15 style rifles were found abandoned in the woods across from the Prairieland Detention Center in the vicinity of spent 5.56 casings, along with 2 body armor plate carriers with loaded AR-15 magazine. Records show that both of these rifles were purchased by Song. Officials believe Song hid in the woods until dark the next day before fleeing. Federal officials point out Song has a military background.
And within 11 days, Mr. Song was tracked down.
It is not Song's first run-in with the law. In 2020, he was arrested on 2 counts of assaulting a public servant during protests in Austin. He was also named in a lawsuit over a clash between protesters and counter-protesters outside a 2023 drag brunch in Fort Worth. Now Song is being held in Johnson County on a $15 million bond. All total, 15 suspects charged in what officials say is the 4th act of violence against federal officers in the Northern District of Texas this year.
I think there are more people involved. We will track down everybody that's involved, whether they were there present at the time of the ambush or other individuals who may have aided and abetted those individuals who came armed to a detention facility with the intent of harming law enforcement.
I still remember during the riots, the St. George Floyd riots, that there was a guy that he was protesting, but he was like pro-Trump, like he was on our side. He wasn't on the Antifa side. And all of a sudden he's standing there talking with someone, and this guy comes behind someone else and just goes bloop, and the guy's head splits open and he's bleeding all over. But here it was I think it was a bicycle chain or a motorcycle chain, and he just hits the guy. Here it turns out he's a university professor in Southern Cal, and he got away with it. They charged him and all, but they let him go. I think he got probation. He split the guy's head open, and he's a teacher. They're nuts. At one point,
well, that's it comes from the Frankfurt School.
Yeah, it does.
Comes from the Frankfurt School. It hit Columbia and spread.
It was around that time. It was another one, Bike Lock. No, it wasn't Andy No. I remember the Andy No thing. This was a guy that he was just a regular guy. He was like nobody, but he was a regular guy, and he was anti-protesting against Antifa. And you didn't even see it happen. You had to see it in slow motion. The guy did this professor, he was blocking his face naturally, and he just hit the guy over the head, and the guy just like started walking back, and people like grabbed him, and went, "You all right?" And here he wasn't. He had to go to the hospital. But it took him like a week to find out who the guy was. And here he's a university professor, and he probably didn't lose his job. He probably got a promotion or something. I don't know. But let's see.
Depending on what university you worked for.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, let's talk about Joy Behar.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's got to be funny.
Yeah.
That's got to be.
It is. I laughed when I read it. Let me bring it up. I laughed when I read it. I'm like, oh my God, this is priceless. You ready, guys? Joy Behar announces The View is going on hiatus after Trump threats. They think they're so much more important than they really are. Viewers of the daytime show The Shrew were surprised on Thursday when liberal co-host Joy Behar accidentally disclosed that ABC will put the show on a hiatus. Conservatives who have regularly used viral footage of The View to demonstrate how out of touch major networks have gotten with average Americans found the show's stop almost too good to be true. These things pop up all the time. Too good to be true. The majority of its 5 co-hosts went on anti-Trump rants in the run-up to the election. On Thursday, Behar asked her colleagues if she could share the bad news, and the set took on a more solemn tone. This is how crazy. Quote, before we go on hiatus, am I allowed to say that? Behar awkwardly. It was all plotted. She was acting. Too late now, joked Alyssa Farah Griffin as the audience laughed without knowing what exactly was going on. Yeah, clapping seals. Before we go, I want to tell people that the tide is turning. The tide is turning and things are changing, she said, looking down at her notes. I mean, the ultimate irony would be that Rupert Murdoch will take him down. Fox News, who created the monster, will take him down. Now, tell me, guys, how the hell do these people think that Donald Trump is a monster? I mean, think about
it. And how do they think Rupert Murdoch is going to take him down?
Yeah, really.
I mean, really.
It failed what he did with the Wall Street Journal.
And before we go on hiatus, we only have one more show after this. I'm allowed to say that, right?
Too late now.
So it doesn't really matter. Yeah.
Before we go, I wanted to tell people that the tide is turning. The tide is turning, and things are changing. I mean, the ultimate irony would be that Rupert Murdoch will take him down.
Yeah.
Fox News, who created the monster, will take him down.
The monster. Okay.
Yeah, no, it looks like not only is Rupert Murdoch not going to take him down, but he's going to be on the hook for a big,
lawsuit.
Healthy, slender suit.
Big lawsuit.
What is it, like 10 or 15 billion?
Yeah.
10 or 10.
Yeah, it was something like that. Let's see what's next. What are we going to do? John Brennan.
Oh, Bass. No. Response to Bass. No. I religiously, with a religious fervor, I avoid being on any social media.
Oh, really?
I have never had a Facebook account. I don't have an X account. I don't have, or a Twitter account, I guess.
Or YouTube account.
I've never been on any. The most that I might ever do would be to start a YouTube channel for drumming videos for and hopefully a little band that I'm going to be able to put together. But
cool.
Yeah, but I'm still working on that.
Yeah, let's do, what is it? Yeah, let's do this. Okay. This is Matt Gaetz. He's on OAN News now. I didn't know that, but he is. And Tulsi.
It's been several days since your monumental release of documents tying President Obama, his CIA director, and his DNI to Russia hoax fabrications. What do you think so far about the public's reaction and the media's reaction?
Well, I think a lot of the public, first of all, thanks for having me on your show, Matt. I think we've seen a lot of people, if you look across social media, who those who've been following this closely, they're not surprised at the revelation, but they are surprised, I think, that we have found the evidence that proves that this Obama-led intelligence community assessment was a contrived document that was knowingly made using fake intelligence or substandard intelligence in order to drive this conclusion that President Obama wanted to see, which was that Russia helped Donald Trump get elected in 2016, or at least aspired to. This directly contradicted every other intelligence community assessment, every other assessment that came from the intelligence community for the last several months prior, both before the 2016 election as well as immediately after. But I want to focus here on the media's response, because this has been really what is most striking. When you look at outlets like the New York Times, the Washington Post, MSNBC, CNN, Politico, you'll see in these outlets either total and complete silence, or those who are choosing to cover it are not actually pointing to the documents and the revelations that were released, that we released last week and this week, exposing the truth about this manufactured intelligence assessment. Instead, they're saying, oh, well, you know, President Obama's office says this is bizarre, or focusing on these other issues that have nothing to do with the core, very disturbing revelation that we released that frankly has to do not with Democrats or Republicans, but with the integrity of our democratic republic. It's a serious issue that should concern every American, should concern every serious news outlet. And I can only conflate their silence or attempts at misdirection as one thing, is they're afraid to tell the truth, because if they tell the truth, they'll have to remind the American people that over those 4 years, both during President Trump's election, after the election, and in the years of President Trump's first administration, they furthered the lie. They printed what the deep state actors in the intelligence community and the John Brennans and James Clappers of the world told them to print. Some even won Pulitzer Prizes for it. So in order for them to cover this honestly and objectively and simply report the truth that we released in these documents, they would also have to admit their culpability in furthering this historic lie.
Yeah, wow.
I got a favor to ask you, Rich. I just sent you a picture by email. Bass is asking if he can be the drummer. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, Bass, but show them my practice space.
Yeah.
This is my basement. If you can pull it up.
What's the
You did get it?
Oh, there it is.
Problem?
Yeah. Oh, wow. No,
It's not coming up.
I got to shrink it down because it was too large. That's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hang on. I will do it.
But
kit. Let's put it there. All right. Yeah, we're allowed to do images now. So image would be drum kit. Okay. Here we go. There it is.
That's my practice space, so you can see what I do. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't have a lot of room for a drummer besides me.
Another drummer. Yeah. How long have you had
that's like a freaking old picture too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got to get a better picture. That's like, I just realized that's an old picture.
You can play the triangle bass. I don't know what that means.
I'm seeing if I got.
Cool. You got what?
Okay, this is a better picture. Do you want email or?
You can email it. They come through quick.
Email comes through. Okay.
Yeah, it comes through pretty quickly.
Okay, I'm going to give you another view, folks. Okay, TikTok, TikTok, TikTok. Here it's coming. Okay, this is from. It's a different view, but the practice space you get a little gray streak. Oh, in In Tulsi, yeah. Tulsi's got a little bit of a.
There it is. Better. Let me see. It's just a square. Hold on. It's just a square. It's just a white square. Hold on.
What? What?
It says 0 bytes. It didn't come through.
It didn't come through. I'll tell you
No.
what. Let me.
Yeah, it's 0 bytes. Sorry.
Okay. Let me. We're gonna do this one more time, just because I'm really. I'm gonna. Can I just text it to you, maybe?
Yeah, sure.
And then you can do whatever with it.
Sure.
Okay. I texted it this time.
All right.
It should be right there.
Oh, yeah, it is. But you know what? I'm using it. I'm using my PC with the phone app, and it doesn't come through. I'll have to do it. Yeah, damn it. It doesn't.
We
come
don't want to
through.
waste too much time on this.
Right. Well, we can just.
I can try and email it again.
We just put it. Yeah, do that.
It's a Dr. J moment.
I thought that was very called for.
There you go. That
Yeah.
that takes up a few seconds of time.
Yeah.
But
It's like,
so
stretch.
there you go. I tried to send it in full size. Maybe I should shrink it down.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It came with nothing. There's 0 bytes.
Did it come again?
No, not yet. Oh, there it is. Yep, 0
And it-
bytes again. Well, this one has 2, but that's a text file. Yeah, 0 bytes again. Sorry.
Let me do this. Let me.
Coming through.
Yeah. Let me. Now you've got me really.
We'll be talking about it for days. Let's see. Oh, wow, Dawn. God bless you. Thank you very much for doing that. Thank you. $10
And
from Dawn.
we
Nice.
send it in.
Very nice.
Let me send it in a much smaller file. See if that comes through.
Okay. You email it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah, it came through. Cool. Now let me shrink it down a little so it presents nice. I will save it in my drive so I can do image 1896. There we go. And let's bring it up. Let's remove that from the studio. Bring this up. There we go. All right. And there it is.
That's a better view of my current kit.
Nice.
So yeah, Bass, I'm sorry. And who
Does it
else
spin
is
like
it
Neil Peart?
who else is it that's a drummer? God, why am I blanking? We got another one out there.
What? One of our guys, or
Yeah,
just a real drummer?
A regular.
Oh, well, he's dead. John Bonham.
No, a regular. One of our attendees.
Oh, it's Special K.
Yes.
I haven't seen him though tonight. Yeah, he's a drummer.
Special K is also a drummer. So enjoy, folks.
Yeah, it is a good angle. It's nice.
So that's my kit. But yeah. So well, I've successfully monopolized several minutes of time.
There you go.
And had a good time doing it. So there you go.
And that was a good week. Look at this. Oh, Jim, you missed the world record freak out by AJ in HB's chat last night. He went completely apeshit defending illegal invasion. A drummer and a chippy. What's a chippy? I'm not familiar with that. Now I want to hear
that's chippy. It's an English expression, I believe.
Yeah, but what does it mean? And a chippy. Let me see. confirm Cuomo. Yeah. Oh yeah, here we go for our Canadian friends. From I believe it's Politico of all things.
You've still got the picture up.
Yeah, I know. I got to remove it. There you go.
There you go.
Let me do this here. Ready? Politico.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What?
Wait a minute. I just
What?
looked up Chippy. I'm not sure who would say this and who would
It's a burger
even
bar.
have any idea, but the slang reference is a disapproving reference indicating a woman who has multiple sexual partners
Oh, okay.
or is sexually promiscuous. Now, how would anybody out there even know if I was?
I have no idea.
I have no idea. Unless one of you knows me and has stories to tell. But, you know, I don't have a lot of those kind of stories to tell.
So let's go on. Politico. A separatist movement is brewing in Canada, but don't count on a 51st state. Right.
Oh, yeah, that'd be beautiful.
Huntsville, Ontario. Many Canadians are furious with President Donald Trump, aghast at his trade war and his calls to annex their country. Then there's Danielle Smith, Premier of Alberta. We have a long-standing relationship with the Americans that goes back over 100 years, and it's going to last 100 years or more, she said with the Political magazine. Smith's approach may be distinct in part because she's a conservative who meets regularly with Trump administration officials. Good for her. Her oil and gas-rich Alberta also has a large trading relationship with the United States that is largely tariff-free. Still, the premier isn't sure what to make of an August 1 deadline Trump has set on high-stakes negotiations that are supposed to produce a cross-border security and trade pact. Quote, you just never know if those are the posturing positions for negotiations or if that's a demonstration that things are not going as smoothly as we'd all hope, she says. Smith also doesn't shy away from beefing with anybody who challenges her province's prosperity. She was famously adversarial with former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau by the end of his tenure, and she couldn't manage a positive word about it. I don't know many people that can for Mr. Castro's kid. But even as a scrappy separatist movement tries to gain a foothold in her province amid frustration with Canada's federal government, she dismisses any notion that her people want to become the 51st state. Quote, Alberta hasn't been treated very well by Washington either, she says. That's kind of funny because she's right. As Smith joined her provincial counterparts for an annual summer confab in Ontario with special guest Prime Minister Mark Carney, she talked about her impression of Canada's new Liberal leader, the ongoing trade talks, and what her colleagues need to know about Trump. The conversation has been edited for lengthy. I don't think we really need to read the rest of this. Yeah, there's a separatist movement that they want to get the hell out. There's a lot of those going on in the United States right now.
Yeah, I would love to see Alberta tell Canada where to go.
Yeah.
And they could be their own country. They've got oil, they've got resources.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Oh, I know.
They don't need to become the 51st state. I'd like to see them stick it to Mark Carney.
Yeah.
He's not much better than
Trudeau.
He's no better than Trudeau.
I know. Separatist movement is Cuomo. Yeah, Cuomo is saying he's going to beat Mandami. I don't know. I don't know if he will. Bannon goes nuclear on.
Well, here's the thing that I think about with that. Mandami's got the Dem primary locked in, but we've got Eric Adams, who some people still like. A lot of people don't like.
He's running as an independent.
And we've got Cuomo running. So what I'm hoping is that between the three of them, they break up the Democrat vote and we get the Republican elected. Wouldn't that be hilarious?
That would be neat. Yeah, that'd be
because
if
they break up the Democrat vote, because there's a lot of Democrats that don't want Mandami.
Oh, I know. Well, because he's like he's a Marxist who so wants to become a communist. He can't wait to implement these stupid, idiotic ideas like free food from the grocery store. Okay, what could go wrong?
Well, you heard him that the ultimate goal is to seize the means of production.
Right. Well,
those were his words. That's
the
not even
thing.
paraphrasing.
He's not afraid of saying it all. That's the thing about it.
Well, I mean, you got to give him that. He's putting it out there. This is who I am. So, you know, Canada requires some spreading of democracy.
All right, let's do the next one. Where are we? Yeah, I got to remove that from the studio. There we go. Brings it over. Here you go. The deep state starts lawyering up. They better. The panic. Yeah, the panic is setting in. The deep state is scared, and they should be, as Tulsi Gabbard continues to pull back the curtain, exposing the lies and corruption behind the Russia hoax. The puppets are scrambling to cover their backs, and now they're doing what guilty people always do when the heat gets too real. They're calling their lawyers. The first to blink is none other than James Clapper, Obama's former DNI and one of the top architects of the Intel swamp. A man who likely played a central role in the coup to take down Donald Trump, but as a candidate and as a sitting president. Just hours after the DOJ announced its newly formed strike force to investigate the Obama-era Intel coup, Clapper went live on CNN and basically sent out an SOS. He's lawyered up, and if he's the first, you can bet your sweet Bippy, what's a Bippy, that he won't last long. Here we go.
When the director says that she's referred these filings to the Justice Department for criminal investigation, tonight we're told they formed what is called a strike force. Do you have concerns that they will attempt to prosecute you?
Well, certainly I do. After 8.5 years of this, and I don't know of an intelligence product that was more scrutinized, more investigated than that product was by numerous people.
He's full of crap.
It's very disconcerting. It really is. And I take seriously when the President of the United States accuses me of.
I'll tell you what, I love that these a-holes are doing this. Oh, we were on the up and up, because when they present the evidence against them and shows that, no, you really weren't.
Being a participant in a treasonous conspiracy, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, what's your reaction to that?
You're ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. It just it is untrue.
So what will you do if they come after you? What is your plan?
Well, I'll lawyer up, I suppose. Already have.
You've already hired attorneys in anticipation that this Trump Justice Department could try to prosecute you.
We've had sort of perpetual attorneys since I left the government in 2017.
Former Director James Clapper, thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, oh, woo-hoo. I feel so bad for you. Not.
Yeah, she is vile. She is. And welcome, Chris.
He's a reptile.
Chris number 2.
Is.
Well, welcome, Chris. Number 2.
Hey, what's up, Chris? Good to see you. Let's see. All right. Next. Let's see. Why does Hollywood hate us? This is another Kurt Schlichter special. Love that guy. All right. The only way I heard about the new Superman movie was because some people on X said it was woke. Is it woke? I don't know, because I won't be seeing it. It's just not my thing. But once upon a time, I'm already. Oh, shit. They changed it. This afternoon, it wasn't. Can't read it. Sorry, guys. This afternoon, when I put it up, it was free. Oh, man. I wanted to read
Stuck it behind the paywall.
Yeah. Let's see.
Okay.
There's another one that he did. It's called Colbert. Colbert finally makes us laugh. Let's see if this one's up. Yeah, it is. All right, so let me pull it up. It's another. Where is he? Schlichter. Schlichter. Yeah, look at this. Colbert finally makes us laugh. Watching Stephen Colbert get fired was amazing and hilarious, but Donald Trump managed to top it by taking credit for it. Well, he didn't exactly take credit for it, but he said he hoped he was partially responsible. This is classic Trump, splashing a bucket of gasoline on his enemy's blazing dumpster fire. The regime immediately obediently jumped in to declare that this was yet another example of the growing fascism in America, which is so fascist that its most oppressed people are TV multimillionaires. They don't want to admit the truth, which is that his show loses money. They were losing $40 million a year. All right. A lot of money. And the barely watched liberal late night host does have the biggest audience of all liberal late night hosts, but that's akin to being the most popular STD. He and his peers took the model that Johnny Carson and David Letterman made into an unstoppable pop culture tsunami and thoroughly neutered it by injecting the funny and embracing preachy by ejecting the funny and embracing preachy commie nonsense. That's exactly right. They're not funny. They haven't been funny since 2016, actually. They aren't looking for laughs. They are begging for laughs from their audience of trained SEALs. The biggest part of Colbert's $200 million a year budget, after his massive take and paying the 200 people on his swollen staff, was probably for fish to reward his audience for its applause. I totally voted for this, including the hilarious freakout of everyone involved. The Hollywood paper Variety felt it important to tweet out the headline that Colbert had dropped an F-bomb regarding Trump. I guess, yeah, Trump's getting the blame for all this. I guess when you've spent the last decade calling him Hitler, you don't have anywhere else to go. The interchangeable host clique closed ranks around the soon-to-be unemployed Colbert, generating such intense cringe that it registered on the Richter scale. Beware, the late-night Avengers are springing into action, with that action being acting like spazzes on Colbert's show. You had to have a heart of stone to not laugh at how Jon Stewart degraded himself, dancing around to a gospel chorus, dropping the F-bomb. It was impotence on a level unseen since Valentine's Day at the Dispatch. That's funny. Oh, and we're assured that now the gloves are off until Colbert gets the boot next May. Take that, Donald Trump. He's going to make homophobic accusations about you and Vladimir Putin even harder, albeit to only about 1 in 150 Americans. This welcome and joyous development is just one more symptom of the left's loosening death grip on America. It used to control the political sector, and now it's been reduced to social media whining as Donald Trump rams through the policies he ran on. This, by the way, is known as democracy, for those of you who are confused and who don't understand that we're actually a republic. Socially, we've had it with the weirdos, losers, and mutations. The era of celebrating the mentally ill and the perverted is sunsetting. Gender kooks went from, hey, we're just trying to live our lives, to, you better degrade yourself by using our made-up pronouns, or we will either get you fired or go on a mass murder spree. Oh, and I want to walk around your daughter's locker room with my junk hanging out before I steal her first place trophy. That's right. Yeah, we're done with all of that, as well as the mutilation of kids. And culturally, we're winning. The destruction of the late night monopoly has been going on for a while, with fellow San Mateo kid Greg Gutfeld taking his actually funny late night show to number 1, while the ratings for the rest of his competition are number 2. They're crap. Greg's political, but also funny. Comedy is becoming funny again. For too long, comedy was supposed to teach us things. It was supposed to make us better people. This, of course, is the antithesis of comedy. But we saw that when Hillary Clinton got humiliated in 2016, and Saturday Night Live's take was to have one of its gender ambiguous cast members come out and sing a somber version of some insipid, sad song that lame people like. But today, Shane Gillis is out there laying waste to everybody, including Trump and conservatives, although the difference is that we conservatives don't mind. We think it's funny, but liberals are losing their stuff. When we made fun of WNBA because the WNBA sucks, the left pretty much had a stroke. You are not allowed to say that. But under Donald Trump, you're allowed to say that, and you're allowed to say whatever you want as long as it's not something that might get you hired at the Lincoln Project on X, thanks to Elon Musk. This is a huge cultural shift. So we don't need to read the rest, but it's always true. It's always true. Colbert sucked. They all suck. They'll never, I don't think we're ever going to have late night hosts again. And you know what? It wasn't just that, he screwed up his ratings so bad that he was like losing $40 million a year. The fact of the matter is they said, oh, and we're going to retire the show. We're not bringing it back. So they're not replacing them. They're just saying, you know what? You screwed things up so bad for us. We're just not going to bring it back. So when he's out of there, it's done. That show is over. Crazy, huh?
I voted for this, man.
For who?
I voted for this.
Oh yeah.
For all of these liberal assholes to be purged.
Yeah. I can't wait.
Johnny Carson was funny, and there is an interview out there with Johnny Carson, and somebody asks him about having a message or something, and he kind of looks at them and he goes, "No, you can't. You can't do that. People don't watch it. We want to be funny. We're not here." And all of a sudden it's just gone 180 degrees from where he, from Johnny Carson. And Johnny Carson had, what was it? Something like 10 million viewers every show.
He had a lot.
And if you added up every late night show except for Gutfeld, they don't meet what Johnny Carson pulled in.
Oh, I know.
Altogether.
That is true.
Well, listen, children, it's been great. I have to go early this evening because we have guests in the house. So I'm going to actually take my leave of you, Rich.
All right.
And
have a good night.
I wish everybody having a good night and a good week and a good weekend and a good week. And come back next week.
Cool.
Bring a friend.
Yeah. Hit the like button.
And hit the like button, please. It does help.
Yeah.
All right. See everybody next week.
See you later. Talk to you later. All right. Now that she's gone, let's talk about her. They all had jibber jabbery music. Yeah. Let's see. Did somebody else send me something? Hang on. Oh, here we go. They know this is coming. All right. And now we could play a little bit of it. Hey, what's up, big guy? My dog came down. Present. Let's see. We got this. Someone sent me this. Ready? It's what's it called? They know this is coming. So let's.
We'll know our disinformation program is complete when everything the American public believes is false.
What if everything you've been told is a complete lie, whether it's climate change or anti-climate change? Hello there, you Awakening Wonders. Thanks for joining me today. This is a brilliant video made using primarily the content of Open-Minded Approach, who's done some excellent work here on bringing together material that suggests that the reason that there is climate variation is because of axial precession, which is essentially an asymmetric movement as a result of the way that the Earth spins. And spin is an important word here because we live in a world of complete propaganda. In fact, let's begin with this video where he uses a William Casey quote in order to help us understand that the function of government in alliance with the media is to ensure that we live in an environment that's entirely controlled and where we're mostly deceived. Have a look at that.
The director of the CIA was William Casey. At the meeting, President Reagan asked Casey what is his function as director of the CIA. And this is his direct quote. It's not a joke. We'll know our disinformation program is complete when everything the American public believes is false. This is not a joke. All you professors, I want this to ring in your ears and you're going to understand why. This is the lady who took it down. She was the assistant to chief domestic policy advisor to President Reagan. There she is. Her name is Barbara Honinger. She responded to people who said, first they thought that quote was wrong. She said no, she was in the meeting, she took the dictation, and then she told it to senior White House correspondent Sarah McClendon, who made it public. It's not a joke. So you have to ask, okay, why are they making this information? Why should we know everything that's wrong? And It's all to lead back to the causes of the Ice Age and what happens.
Now, when we looked at the chemtrails story earlier in the episode, it's clear that we are often contained within a managed paradigm. Let's have a look at this thread together and ask ourselves some pretty serious questions. Is it possible that, as Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson have always explained, that there are deep historic geological truths that we are denied access to because they give us a perspective on reality that's much closer to a Christian and certainly a religious perspective than the secularized, humanitarian, rational ideas that make us easy to manage and contain us in a grid of individualism and sometimes even nihilism? Let's get into it. If they admit the pyramids were built during the period when the Sahara was green, they would have to admit.
I won't play it if you guys don't want me to. That's fine. I know that, yeah, he can make you cringe, but what's called? I didn't like him when he was a liberal because he was kind of nasty. But then somehow he found God and he started coming over to the light, and he got really good on his show real fast. But then they started charging him with the sexual stuff. The Me Too moment was brought around, and the rape claims and all that. And he was very sincere when he said that he didn't do it, but they all say they didn't do it, right? But I remember YouTube, without him even being charged, YouTube completely demonetized him, like right away. Rumble didn't. Because, yeah, he stopped doing drugs. He got baptized as a Christian. He's a Christian now. And there's a couple other things he did. Well, he divorced Katy Perry because she was a real piece of crap. But, yeah. Let me see. I don't know anyone who has what? Pecking hands. Right after rape claims. Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing what they'll do to you when you leave the woke supremacy. Let's see. Yeah, this one's rich. Share to stab instead. Ready? School district forced to apologize, pay $20,000 after suspending student for saying illegal aliens. Look at this. A North Carolina school district has been ordered to admit its mistake, publicly apologize, and pay $20,000 after being sued for suspending a 16-year-old student for using the term illegal aliens during a class discussion. The legal battle, which lasted for a year, was finally settled on Tuesday in the U.S. District Court for the Middle District, North Carolina, marking a victory for the students' First Amendment rights. The law was filed after Davidson County Schools suspended Christian McGee in April 2023 for asking, do you mean space aliens or illegal aliens who need green cards during an English class? Oh my God, I love the kid. Although the student was making a simple point about the language being used in the debate, the school deemed his comment racially insensitive, resulting in a 3-day suspension and marks indicating racially insensitive behavior on his permanent record. The case caught the attention of President Donald Trump. How about that? Does this story continue or no? No, it doesn't. Are you kidding me? That's the end of it? Oh, more on Slay News. All right, sorry. Here in the permanent record. The case caught the attention of President Donald Trump. Trump sent a personal recommendation letter to McGee as he seeks an athletic scholarship in the future. According to Liberty Justice Center, which helped with the litigation, McGee's fight for free speech has marked broader conversation for First Amendment rights in public schools. In addition to the $20,000 payment, the settlement requires Davidson County Schools to issue a public apology to McGee, remove the racially insensitive marks from his permanent record, and acknowledge that the school's response to the incident was inappropriate. Now you know that all those teachers in that school are going to hate his guts, and how much you want to bet they're going to screw with him academically. However, as stated in the court order, the settlement does not amount to an admission of liability or wrongdoing. No, we're just going to pay you $20,000 because we like doing that. We always do that when we're right. Sarah Parshall Perry, vice president and legal fellow at Defending Education, emphasized the significance of the case, saying, As the Supreme Court has often reminded us in its First Amendment jurisprudence, students do not shed their free speech rights at the schoolhouse gate. That's true. Let's see. Parry also criticized the current state of education, noting how many educators have become lost in the wake of the previous administration's identity politics obsession. That's exactly correct. So the kid made 20 G's because he said illegal aliens. That's kind of crazy. Let's see. Who else is up there? That's a fair point. I don't like him nor this. Oh, okay. Are we still on Russell Brand? Are we still talking about him? I'll never forgive his treatment of Mark Collette. Who? Who are we talking about? I'm out of the loop. Oh, wow. The Scrubs and his wily ways. The Scrubs. All right. Let's see, what else is there? Oh, yeah, Mike Lindell, the My Pillow guy. Who would have thought he'd be like the premier guy to save our elections? So, breaking. Mike Lindell wins appeal in $5 million alleged election fraud case. He's My Pillow man. A federal appeals court ruled Wednesday in favor of My Pillow CEO Mike Lindell, overturning an earlier arbitration decision that ordered him to pay $5 million to a software developer who challenged his claims of foreign interference in the 2020 election. The three-judge panel for the Eighth Circuit Court of Appeals issued a unanimous decision that determined the arbitration panel exceeded its authority. Quote, fair or not, agreed to contract terms may not be modified by the panel or by this court. U.S. Circuit Court Judge James Loken wrote in a 12-page decision. In 2021, Lindell hosted a cyber symposium. I watched it, where he claimed data showed Chinese election interference in the 2020 election. Lindell offered $5 million to someone if someone could prove the data was unequivocally not related to the election. This prompted software developer Robert Zeidman to issue a 15-page report against the data. Wow. While the challenge judges ruled he did not meet the standards required for the $5 million, and arbitration panel later ruled that Zeidman is entitled to the prize. The panel found that Zeidman successfully proved that Lindell's data was not election data, but it was. However, the appeals court has now ordered a lower court to immediately wipe the $5 million award. Loken said the judges found that the panel had effectively amended the unambiguous challenge contract when it used intrinsic evidence to require that the data found was packet capture data, thereby violating established principles of Minnesota contract law and our arbitration precedents. Uh-oh. Where am I? Okay. What else is there? It's libraries. Trying to find the next story. So what do we got? Pillow sham. I have 3 of his pillows. When I had a social media site, I gave him free advertising because the left really tried to shit all over him. They started pulling his pillows out of their stores. I mean, Christ, all the guy did was tried to set out to prove that 2020 was stolen, which we all know it was. Pillow sham. I actually like the one that I have, the elongated one. So let's see, where am I? Colbert admits this left. Finally, real American justice. Unverified report. Dynamite. Let's see, John Byrne. Ignored veteran. Yeah. To bury evidence they lied about Russiagate hoax. Colbert finally met. Yeah, we already read that. 20 CIA agents. Here we go. 20 CIA and FBI agents now confirmed Barack Obama was behind the Russian collusion hoax. Took me all that time to find that. Sorry. Here we go.
Fox News alert: the director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, releasing a bombshell report today that shows a conspiracy by a sitting president, Barack Obama, and his intel agencies to sabotage the president-elect, Donald Trump, brainwash the electorate, and undermine the legitimacy of an election.
There is irrefutable evidence that detail how President Obama and his national security team directed the creation of an intelligence community assessment that they knew was false. They knew it would promote this contrived narrative that Russia interfered in the 2016 election to help President Trump win, selling it to the American people as though it were true.
Right.
It wasn't.
Gabbard got her hands on a House intel report that's been locked away in a
loading it up
CIA
now.
vault for almost a decade. Investigators spent over 2,000 hours looking into how the Russia hoax was born,
Right.
interviewing 20 CIA and FBI officials. And it turns out that the Obama administration doctored the intelligence to make it look like Putin and Trump stole the election.
Right.
A month after Trump beat Hillary, Barack Obama wasn't satisfied with his intelligence reporting and ordered his CIA director to create a new assessment of how Russia interfered with the election.
Yeah, Brennan.
This was a highly unusual move. John Brennan handpicked 5 CIA analysts to write the assessment, and they were siloed. None of them knew what the other was doing. And only one analyst was in charge of drafting this report. There was nothing routine about this, and it was a rush job to publish before Trump was sworn in. Nothing was coordinated with the other intelligence agencies either. Basically, this was home cooking for Barack Obama.
Oh, yeah.
There were 4 key elements from the assessment that were repeated over and over again and formed the basis of the Russia hoax and the Robert Mueller witch hunt. 1, that Vladimir Putin wanted Donald Trump to win. 2, Putin took action to help Trump win. 3, the Russians had blackmail on Trump. That was the Steele dossier.
And the PP
4,
tape.
that the Russians tried colluding with the Trump campaign. None of any of this was ever true.
Right.
There was no reliable intelligence to support any of these allegations. Senior CIA officials repeatedly refused to traffic in these allegations, but they were repeatedly overruled by CIA Director Brennan and FBI Director Comey, who insisted that they be pushed, even without verifiable evidence. The Obama administration cherry-picked the intelligence, lied about their sources, misquoted sources, didn't corroborate their claims, suppressed intelligence that ran counter to their narratives, and even used anonymous internet postings.
Yeah, it was
Rank
Hillary.
and file
Hillary on her email server, a lot of times used a fake email address, and Barack used a fake email address as well. Now, what does that tell you right off the bat? That they know that what they were doing was bullshit. You know, I mean, Barack knew she had a private email server, obviously, right? But they knew that what they were doing, that's why they were hiding it that way. So, I mean, Barack, like the very fact that they declassified documents showing Barack Obama's fake email address. He wasn't using the president's email address because it was a clear violation of the Espionage Act because she had classified documents on the server. Even James Comey said she did. So you have one classified document, that's like 10 years in prison and like all kinds of fines and whatnot. And yet she's gotten away with it ever since. Who knew, right? Let me see. What do we got here? Oh, okay. Get rid of that. So, yeah, lock them up. Nah. Let's see what else we got. Suspected would be president. Yeah, this nut. This lunatic is going to represent himself in court. So, suspected would-be presidential assassin Ryan Routh will represent himself at federal trial. It means he has a fool for a client. Judge Eileen Cannon, who is awesome, by the way, warned Routh against any vexatious, obstructionist, or obstreperous behavior after A day after suspected would-be presidential assassin Ryan Wesley Ralph refused to meet with his court-appointed defense attorney at a federal lockup in Miami, U.S. District Judge Eileen M. Cannon approved Ralph's motion to proceed to trial as a pro se defendant representing himself. Ralph, 59, of Greensboro, North Carolina, faces September 8th jury selection in his trial on 5 federal counts charging him with aiming a sniper rifle through a fence and trying to kill President Donald J. Trump on September 15, 2024, at Trump's West Palm Beach, Florida golf resort. The attorney-client relationship is irrevocably broken. Ralph wrote a letter to Judge Cannon, entered on the court docket July 11, complaining bitterly about his federal public defenders and stating that it's best I walk alone. The judge held Feretta hearings on July 10 and July 24 before ruling in an 8-page order that Ralph can proceed as his own attorney. The judge ordered federal public defenders Christy Militello and Renee, what are these names? Renee Sehodovuvu to serve on the case as standby counsel. You know, when he screws up and gets in trouble. Filed a motion with the court to withdraw from the case after she said Ralph repeatedly refused to meet with her for their scheduled July 22 consultation at the Federal Correction Institute in Miami. Quote, in other words, he's trying to be a troublemaker, right? He's trying to be a troublemaker. I think he's trying to let them think that he's nuts so he can change to an insanity plea. Because everything he's done so far, it looks like that. So we don't need to read anymore. Even Hillary's present preset something to ensure they win. So they were going, yep. Look him up. Hey, what's up, Charlie? How you doing? Good to see you. Let's see. What do we got here? Yeah, there's a good one. You Americans will like this one. Here we go. Government insider says Trump to break IRS's stranglehold on Americans. That's a nice pick. Since 1913, the IRS has claimed an annual portion of Americans' hard-earned money. But that century-old tradition may be coming to an end. Jim Rickards, a 50-year government insider who has advised the CIA, Treasury, and Federal Reserve, believes President Trump is on the verge of abolishing income tax for most Americans. Get ready, Rickards warns. There's a realistic chance Donald Trump could axe the income tax, and investors who understand why could make a fortune in the months ahead. The average family currently pays around $10,000 annually to the federal government. Imagine what you could do with that extra money every year. True. Trump has publicly said he will replace the income tax with tariffs, and he can do that too. But according to Rickards, the president's plan could soon take a giant leap forward thanks to a massive $150 trillion economic windfall. Can you imagine that much money coming in? One that could transform our economy while eliminating the federal debt. This unprecedented move could trigger a wave of prosperity unlike any in American history, and a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for investors who act quickly. Very cool. Very, very cool. Hey. Let's see who else is in here. Yep. Okay. Yeah, we got to talk about it. Hulk Hogan died along with Ozzy, we mentioned earlier. But I was shocked he died. Hulk Hogan, the handlebar mustachioed marvel who turned professional wrestling into a mainstream spectacle and then transcended it, died Thursday following a serious medical issue at his Florida home. He was 71 years old. Hogan, real name Terry Bollea, began his wrestling career in Florida in the 1970s, but became the bleach blonde megastar in the mid-1980s with the rise of World Wrestling Federation. His brash, shirt-ripping, all-American persona fueled Hulkamania around the country, making him the ubiquitous face of WWF telecasts, not to mention millions of kids' lunchboxes. Yeah. Hogan has died at the age of 70. Wow, that's a shame. Hollywood Hogan was a household name, turning him into the first true crossover success with I thought Arnold was the first one. I thought he was, with appearances in numerous movies, including The Thunder Lips and Rocky III. Yeah, I remember in Rocky III. At the height of Hulkamania, the eponymous muscleman with 24-inch pythons for arms appeared on the A-Team, starred in films like Suburban Commando, and co-hosted Saturday Night Live with Mr. T. Cool. In the ring, Hogan became America's favorite hero, grappling the WWF World title from iconic arch rival, the Iron Sheik, in 1984, and body slamming 520-pound Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3 in 1987. Let's see. 956. Oops. Medic arrived. Oh, where the hell did it go? 956. Medics arrive at the home of Terry Bollea at the 1000 block of El Dorado. Okay. Yeah, whatever. Let's look at some pictures. Yeah. Look how he always used to rip his shirt. He did it for Trump, I think, twice. Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy. Let's see. What else can I do? Ron Klain. Russia Hoax. I might as well just play some videos. So what can I play? Let's go. Let's put this up. How about Donald Trump? Yeah, again, guys, I'm going to be on 42 stream tomorrow night. It's 5:30 Eastern time. Right to return night. I'll put the link in the stream. I hope to see you there. Let's see. Megyn Kelly's big warning. For what? Immunity. Ghislaine Maxwell offered limited immunity during DOJ meetings. All right. That's terrible. Let's see what we can put this up. So let's go over this. What are we going to watch? Huge racist. Yeah, did you hear there's racist stuff that's coming out about him? Hulk already. Mystery solved. Florida victims show every Democrat this video. 250 Epstein victims attorney drops bombshell on Trump's role in Florida. Jesse on fire. Oh, there we have Saudi Cracker. He's still around. I can't believe he's still around. I haven't seen him in so long. Episode Spotty for bedroom. Ghislaine Maxwell. Nah, don't see anything. Oh, well. I think I read everything that we have. Yeah, I know. Rest in peace, Hulk. I just locked up. Close that out. All right. Are you taking off? See you, Pam. Say hi to Lisa. Let me see. So why does Hollywood hate us? House Intel chair. It was 2018 interview. Do we know? Yeah. Here you go. This will be good. Hello. Let's see. Let's watch this. There you go. This is James Comey's. It's his interview again, 2018 with Brett Baer. But now that we know all this crap, it's a completely different video. It's taken.
The question is, you open a counterintelligence investigation to understand, are any Americans in cahoots with the foreign intelligence activities of an adversary nation?
When the Steele dossier comes out sometime early July, when did you personally learn about the memos in the dossier?
Sometime in the fall. I don't remember exactly when.
So who told you about them?
I don't remember. Someone on my senior staff.
Do you remember how they were described?
I remember they briefed me about it, explained that it came from a reliable source, former Allied intelligence officer.
When did you learn that the DNC
Yeah,
and
him.
Hillary Clinton campaign had funded Christopher Steele's work?
Yeah, I still don't know that for a fact.
What do you mean?
I've only seen it in the media. I never knew exactly which Democrats had funded. I knew it was
Such a
funded first by
goddamn liar.
Republicans,
But
opposed
that's
to
not
Donald.
true.
I'm sorry?
That's not true. That the dossier that Christopher Steele worked on was funded by Republicans?
My understanding was his work started funded by Oppo Research, funded by Republicans.
So Free Beacon and said that they had Glenn Simpson and Fusion GPS on a kind of a retainer, but they did not fund the Christopher Steele memo or the dossier. That was initiated by Democrats.
Okay, my understanding was the activity was begun that Steele was hired to look into, was first funded by Republicans, then picked up. The
Wrong.
important thing was picked up by Democrats opposed to Donald Trump.
Did you tell President Obama that the dossier was who it was funded by?
No, not to my recollection.
Did you want to know who it was funded by?
I wanted to know what I knew, which is it was funded by people politically opposed to Donald Trump.
So you still to this day don't know that it was funded by the DNC or
I've read that in the
Clinton campaign?
media, but I don't know for a fact. And
He's a
didn't know while I
liar.
was at the FBI.
To what extent did you brief President Obama on the dossier?
I didn't ever brief President Obama on the dossier. I was present during a conversation where Director of National Intelligence briefed it to him, as we did to the Gang of Eight and to the President-elect the first week of January.
You called the dossier unverified, salacious. Why did you use that to the FISA court to ask for surveillance for Carter Page? Not only use it, but you led with it. A bulk of that FISA application deals with that dossier. Why?
My recollection was it was part of a broader mosaic of facts that were laid before the FISA judge to obtain a FISA warrant.
You briefed the president-elect on kind of the sliver of the dossier, really the salacious part about the prostitutes in Moscow and that allegation.
My mission in that private briefing was just to tell him about that slice of it.
And who suggested you brief that?
I think the Director of National Intelligence did, and explained the logic of why it made sense for me to do it, which I agreed with.
So that briefing was just oral. It was just talking to the
Correct, just the two of us.
You write in the memos
Everything he said so far, we now know is a bold-faced lie.
of that meeting, you write, I
He's
said
so
to
full of
President
crap.
Trump, media like CNN had the dossier and were looking for a news hook. I said it was inflammatory stuff. So the story of that briefing leaks out almost immediately after you do it. CNN and others run the story of this unverified dossier. Did you or your subordinates leak that?
No.
Did James Clapper?
No, not to my knowledge. No.
John Brennan?
Oh my
God. I don't know who leaked it. I had no part in any leaking of it. It was
Did you
about
ever-
4 or
John
5 days
McCain
later
and
that it
everybody
leaked,
else
but
that
I
he
remember
meant.
because President-elect called me about it.
Did you ever try to find out?
Who leaked an unclassified public document? No.
Did you inform the president-elect at the time what you knew about how it was funded or who was behind it?
No, I did not.
Did you inform him that Christopher Steele had been fired by the FBI
No.
or that he had lied?
No, and I didn't know those things at that time anyway.
Or that it had been used, at least in part, to get this FISA application to spy on somebody in his campaign?
No, didn't come up.
Is it fair to say that President Obama and his inner circle
Didn't come up. Now we know that he had a national security meeting, and I think Comey was in on it.
knew a lot more
told
about the
them,
dossier
"Here's what we're gonna
and the
do."
scope of the investigation than President-elect
He's
Trump
lying
and his
through it
team?
all.
They knew the same set of facts, as did the leaders of.
Wow. What a piece of human debris. Let's see. What else do we have here? Humiliating downfall. Yeah, here's a federal judge that, oh, this is great. I love when I see these federal judges get taken down. Biden appointed DEI federal judge just suffered the most humiliating downfall. That's him. When you lower the bar to check identity boxes, this is what you get: total incompetence, fake authority, and national embarrassment. Welcome to the life of Judge Julian Niels, a Biden-appointed DEI federal judge who is now under fire for issuing a legal opinion that contained made-up quotes and completely misstated case outcomes. Not just one or two mistakes. No, there were a bunch of them. Enough for lawyers involved in the case to step in and basically say, this entire ruling is fiction. Yikes. And once again, this instance reminds us what DEI isn't. It isn't about excellence. It's all about politics. These aren't the best legal minds rising to the top. Quite the opposite, actually. They're the most politically convenient ones, progressive activists wearing long black robes and the American people are paying the price for it. Thanks to those sharp attorneys, this flim-flam opinion has now been yanked from the record entirely, a rare and rather humiliating move that never should have been necessary in the first place. We don't have to read it, but apparently now the judges are not going to get away with much anymore because the tide is turning. And this clown apparently, well, let's read a little bit of it. A New Jersey U.S. District Court judge withdrew his decision in a biopharma securities case Wednesday after lawyers complained that his opinion contained numerous errors, including made-up quotes and misstated case outcomes. The judge's order states the court is in receipt of defendant's counsel's letter dated July 22, 2025. On July 30, 2025, the court issued an opinion and order. That opinion and order were entered in error. Accordingly, the court directs the clerk of court to remove the opinion and order at ECF numbers 115 and 114 of the docket. A subsequent opinion and order will follow. An excerpt from the counsel's letter. While defendants do not seek reconsideration of the opinion pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure, we wish to bring to the court's attention a series of errors. They're telling the judge, you done effed up in the opinion, including 3 instances in which the outcomes of cases cited in the opinion were misstated. The motions to dismiss were granted, not denied, and numerous instances in which quotes were mistakenly attributed to decisions that do not contain such quotes, so that the court may consider whether amendment or any other action should be taken. I mean, when you get caught red-handed, like intentionally writing bullshit inside your court opinion, he should have been thrown out and kicked off the bar. Yeah. The Pfizer warrant. Yeah. DEI strikes again. Absolutely, man. Thick as mints. Yeah. Let's see. Matt Taibbi, the big story. Yeah, the Biden administration spied on the Trump campaign. Why not? Right? Why not? Let me see how long it is. All right, it's only a minute. We're going to do this one. Matt Taibbi is one of the independent journalists who, when the Twitter file dump came out, he was given some of them, and he did a pretty good job with it. So what we're saying here is reporter Matt Taibbi hints at big story. Did the Biden administration spy on Trump's 2024 campaign also? Of course they did. Let's see.
Anyway, you're reporting that DOJ is also focusing on conspiracy charges, looking at conduct from 16 through 2024, and also at evidence that members of Trump's campaign may have been spied on in 2024. So can you please elaborate on either of those points?
I can't say a whole lot, Megan, other than what I wrote. But I've heard a couple of different stories. I have one source who has a very concrete story about this. But I can't go forward with it yet. But what I can say is that there's a statute of limitations issue with some of these 2016 behaviors that would be solved if they could prove a continuing pattern of conduct. And there were various investigations that took place during the Biden era, some of which the public knows about, some of which they don't know about.
The scum.
And
the Democrats.
Those, I think, would become tied to a conspiracy charge that would relate to these 2016 behaviors.
Yeah, they're scum. They like a rigged system, no matter what the system is. That's what they want. Because they can't win by their own merits in anything, actually. Let's see. It would be a first. House targets Epstein network. All right. VP first, net negative. Here we go. This is good too. Here we go. Let's see. JD Vance. Put it up. Okay. Eric Daughtry says, breaking. VP JD Vance says the pace of deportations will increase. And in 2025, we'll have the first net negative immigration number in about 50 or 60 years. Music to my ears. Let's hear it. Yes.
We are criticized, interestingly, by some folks on the right who want the pace of deportations to be higher. And I certainly understand that, frankly, and share that frustration. The counter argument is the courts are trying to stop us at every step of the way.
Right.
And until about a month ago, we didn't have the resources for ICE to actually get this massive invasion that Joe Biden led into our country. We didn't have the resources necessary to actually process a lot of those people. That has changed because of the big, beautiful bill. We've also gotten some court case wins. So I expect that the pace of deportations will increase a little bit. But importantly, when people criticize us and they say, you know, sometimes I'll hear this criticism, well, the pace of deportations from the Trump administration is actually lower than it was in the Biden administration. And that's actually a completely fake statistic. It's based on the fact that if you come into the country illegally and then the Biden administration processes you and sends you out, that counts as a deportation.
Yeah, it's not,
it counts as illegal immigration, and then it counts as deportation. So you have to look at the net number, right? If you do +1, -1, not a math expert, but I'm pretty sure that's 0. The net number is what really matters. And where the Trump administration, where we've been most wildly successful, is that we have, I think in 2025, we will have the first net negative immigration number in about 50 or 60 years in the United States. And so there has been a major shift in immigration policy. We are
hopefully he takes over when he takes the reins when Trump's out, because he's very MAGA. I like him. I didn't like him at first because he wasn't MAGA at all, but yeah, I like him now. Let's see. Bannon goes nuclear. All right, let's do this one now. Steve Bannon goes absolutely nuclear. So it has Steve Bannon sat down with PBS and addressed this issue of federal judges trying to block immigration enforcement. He didn't pull any punches, and he called out PBS and the interviewer, with some.
Can't let these radical judges do it, and this is going to be a showdown. It has to be a showdown.
And the rhetoric about the judge, because a lot of lawyers say, you know, all of the rhetoric, calling for impeachment, the radical left lunatic, that this rhetoric, it shouldn't, that's not the type of thing the president should say. He should appeal. He should abide by the court.
Wait a minute. I'll bet this clown said nothing every time Joe Biden said, these MAGA extremists, they don't care about the Constitution. They don't care about democracy. I'll bet he didn't say jack.
Ruling and not.
Listen, by the way, was there any complaint from PBS or was there any complaint by the Democrats on the rhetoric used against the judges when the Roe v. Wade decision came out and they had to have police protection at their houses? I don't remember anything about the rhetoric being too high. Right. You guys are so fucking phony on the face of it. This is why we're defeating the left. The American people, as they see this, they go, these guys are a bunch of fucking lying scumbags, which you are, a bunch of lying fucking scumbags. You try to terrorize Supreme Court justices over a decision that didn't go your way. And now I'm a huge believer, but playing by the system.
I like them too.
The system, we should get these judges, and I'm an advocate. I'm not saying impeach them right now. That's for the House of Representatives to decide. However, the Judiciary Committee should immediately get Beryl Howell and was it Boasberg in immediately for a public hearing about their conduct.
Right.
Absolutely. And let's put it before the American people. Let's put it what these two have done. These two are radicals.
Yep.
Put them on notice. You put them through this process, whether you impeach them or not, all these other judges are going to fold. Here's what we know. If you take power and exert it, this system's not so tough. You know why? They're all gutless cowards. They've all hid behind the system for decades and decades.
Wow. I love that. Throwing the F-bombs. You can impeach judges. Yeah, Bannon is gold, man. He always was. Let's see, what else do we got here? Let's woke on Esco. Where is it? The deep state starts. We did that. You know what? I'm just going to start looking for things out here. Let's see. Where is it? Right here. Jeez. 2-year-old boy dies in hot car. I can't stand hearing stuff like that. Let's see. Liberty Daily. Let's go check them out. Granted limited immunity. Let's see. Brother loving demands the U.S. give up all nuclear weapons. Oh, this is great. Oh, wow. This is just great. Ilhan Omar is back in the news. So, Ilhan Omar demands America give up all nuclear weapons. Yeah, all right. Bite me. Radical Democrat Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota is demanding that the United States surrender all nuclear weapons. Omar made the demands while marking the 80th anniversary of the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The far-left congresswoman took to the House floor to call for U.S. support for the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons. Again, bite me. The outspoken progressive warned that the threat of nuclear weapons is ever present. She continued by declaring that America must lead the global charge toward disarmament. No, either we abolish these horrific weapons from the face of the earth, or we use them and abolish humanity instead. Oh, well. She pointed to recent global flashpoints, including tensions between India and Pakistan, Israel's conflict with Iran, and the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war. And yet none of them have fired nuclear missiles, have they? As examples of how close the world remains to a potential nuclear disaster. Yeah, okay. However, despite these increasing threats, Omar argues that the United States should surrender its nuclear defenses because she's a moron. Omar stressed that while political restraint had prevented escalation, this time the threat is far from over. Well, duh. She argued that the global stockpile of nuclear weapons continues to pose a risk to humanity's survival. Actually, it has helped humanity's survival because people don't want to fire on you when they know that you can fire back, and that maybe 3 of your allies will as well. The Congresswoman also spotlighted the domestic impact of nuclear weapons development. I can't speak tonight. She focused on downwinder communities in the U.S. that have been poisoned by fallout from nuclear weapons testing. However, Omar attempted to deceitfully frame weapons testing as attacks against citizens. Their primary targets have been Americans. That's nonsense. Omar pointed to historical examples of successful disarmament, which had President Reagan, Mikhail Gorbachev, as well as South Africa's decision to dismantle its nuclear program. Okay, whatever. She said it is proof that progress can be made with the necessary political will. Just shut up already. She's married to her brother. Plotting spray. Yeah, here we go. Let's pull this one up. Pass prohibiting foreigners and yeah, I know, you're right. Because you shouldn't, well, see, they'll say that she came in as a refugee and she became a U.S. citizen, but yeah, I don't think foreigners should be able to hold a seat in Congress. I really don't, because that means if they're still subject to the jurisdiction of their home country, that means that they can become a member of Congress and work against the United States. You can't trust them if they're foreigners. Let's see. The architects of Moderna's, get this, mRNA shots are plotting to spray RNA on your food. You believe this? The same biotech firm that birthed Moderna, the company behind one of the most controversial COVID-19 vaccines, is now turning its sights on the food supply. Flagship pioneering, the venture capital giant that funded Moderna's rise, has unveiled a new venture called Tirana Biosciences, designed to spray crops with synthetic RNA that infiltrates plants, rewrites their biological functions, and may even pass these artificial genetic instructions to future generations. This isn't science fiction. It's the next frontier of genetic manipulation, one that raises alarming questions about corporate and governmental control over life itself. If RNA can be engineered to persist in plants, spread through ecosystems, and alter biology on command, what's stopping these same forces from deploying it on human populations without consent, transparency, or accountability? Yeah. So in other words, they're going to spray our food with RNA. Why? Because they can. Let's see. Is there, hey, Special K, what's going on, brother? Oh, really? You want to come in? Sure. I'll bring you in. Hang on. Let me get the invite. Chris, here's the invite code. There it is. Come on in, brother. Do I have any left? Yeah. It's a software issue. Let's see. What are we doing here? Burger on the Barbie. Trump wins. There we go. Here's one for Australia. Let's see. We'll pull this in. Here we go. Throw another burger on the Barbie. Trump wins again as Australia lifts import ban on U.S. beef. There we go. Look at that. Anyone who has played sports at a competitive level knows that streaks happen, both losing streaks and winning streaks. And anyone who has paid even a modicum of attention to the first 6 months of Donald Trump's presidency knows that this president remains on a winning streak, the likes of which no other president in U.S. history has experienced, or should I say made happen. Yeah, that's better and much more accurate. The latest win in Trump's incredible winning streak comes from down under with the left-wing Labour government of Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese pulling off an incredible and surprising backflip by announcing the end of all restrictions against American beef imports in a move Trump's White House hailed as a major victory over non-scientific trade barriers that had left U.S. farmers on the sidelines for 2 decades. True. Albanese had staunchly vowed in April to stand firm and not give in while Trump demanded full access for all U.S. beef. In other words, given the prime minister's backflip, Trump won, Albanese 0 final score. That's great. So, all right. So that's even more money we're going to make with the trading. That's cool. Brother Chris.
Hey, Rich, how you doing, man?
Welcome back to the show. How you been, man?
Is it good?
Yeah, I hear you. Hear you fine.
All right.
Let me turn your volume up a little. I'll do it.
Okay.
I can do it.
Turn it up.
I
turn
can
it
do
up.
that. It's not allowed automatically. Okay, I'm just going to turn it
All
up.
right.
There you go.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing?
What's going on? Chris and I go way back.
About 20 years now, right, Rich?
Something like that. About 20 years.
Like
yeah, we worked together at an old company of mine.
Oh, 20 years. 2004.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, around that time.
Anyway, what's called? You're in South Carolina now, right?
Yep.
You got your own channel too, don't you?
We'll talk about that later.
All right.
We'll talk about that later.
I know. I wanted to see you get up and running, man.
Yeah.
This guy's like as conservative as it gets.
Yeah. Hey, okay. Yeah. You took me there.
Yeah. I don't take the credit. You got there on your own, man.
No, you got it. So I'm digging on what's going on here, and we've seen what's going on through this whole week. Right. We had the passing of Malcolm Jamal Warner.
I know.
And then
I saw that.
Yeah, and then
Ozzy.
Hogan.
We had Ozzy, Hulk Hogan. What was her name? Connie Francis died.
Connie Francis. Chuck Mangione.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, whoa. And you know what?
Something going on in the water out in Hollywood.
Yeah, I'm asking for some prayers along with my mom because she's not doing well right now.
Oh no.
No.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. I'm hoping and praying to the Almighty that that my mom gets to see her 86th birthday in December 21st, but it doesn't look that way.
I'm
So
sorry to
I'm
hear
looking
that.
for
She's still up
Rich's
here, or where is she?
in Philly.
Okay.
Rich, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was in Philly for 3 days.
Were you?
Yeah, and I'm sorry I did not.
Yeah, you should have hit me up. We would have gone out.
I know, but we had to. Me and my wife had to make sure her finances were in order.
Oh, okay.
Then my older brother needed to go to Philly to make sure that the executive administration was done. Right now, he and I are at odds with that, but that's another story. I come here to support my man Rich right now on his channel, and I always do.
You're right. Yeah.
Oh, you got another shout out?
Yeah, from who?
Who else? Your man on Sirius XM.
Oh, did he?
Yes, he did.
Really?
Yes, he did.
Again, huh? So
Yes,
what
he
did he do?
did.
Did he talk about Jabberhouse?
Yes, he did.
Oh, wow. How about that? Yeah. He's talking about Wilkow.
Yes.
Wilkow Majority. Andrew Wilkow, who's a really good conservative talk show host on Sirius XM. Yeah, he's on 12 to 3 every day. But
And
how about
I
that?
listen to him every
I missed
day.
it this time.
But when he says Jabberhouse, I'm like, I gotta let Rich know.
Yeah, that's what I used for every week. You know what's funny is I probably could make money. I probably could monetize it if I had the time to update it every day.
Yeah,
but I
we
really used it
understand
just so that I know what to read, you know, during these.
I understand, but I listen to him just about every day.
I'm sorry, it's the Patriot Channel on Sirius XM.
Yeah.
Wilkow Majority. Wilkow is one of the best.
Wilkow.
Yeah. He's one of the best out there, especially on Sirius XM. He's really good, really conservative. He lives in New Jersey.
Yes.
And only because he lives on a lake.
Yes.
And he's not bothered by the lib nuts out there. So
he listened to your channel. Well, I'm not listening to your channel, but he does.
Yeah, he reads that
Jabberhouse.
Yeah,
to get his news. So
yeah, I got to look at the stats then, because I'll bet because the last time he did that, it almost shut the server down. Yeah. Everybody, when they do that, everybody goes to your page. Yeah, that's pretty cool that he did that.
Yeah,
very cool. I didn't hear it.
Oh, I when next time
I was busy today,
I will get the transcript to you. So, Rich, we got a bet going on here.
What's that?
Who would be able to? He's on from 12 to 3.
Right.
Who would be able to get a hold of him first? You or I?
What,
to let him know that we do listen.
Did we call in?
Yeah. Because now his app now on Sirius XM that I have a subscription to has the direct line to him.
Right.
I'm just saying,
Yeah, I have it too.
Okay, all right then.
Yeah, but I tweet him a lot. I tweet him a lot, and sometimes he responds. Yeah, he doesn't know me, but sometimes he replies, like he gives his own comment.
But when he knows you from Jabberhouse,
yeah, well, he doesn't know that's me.
Oh, okay, that's the bet.
Yeah, I should create a Jabberhouse X account. I should do that.
That's good. Now, my other question is what we should all account for with everything that's going on with
Obama?
No, with Tulsi Gabbard.
Oh, yeah.
Bringing down everything on Obama.
Right.
That, okay, if anything comes out of this, he would not be, charged.
Right.
He has that immunity thing going on. But Clapper and all the rest of those, Comey, they'll get pinged. Okay,
Yeah.
we know they'll get pinged. Everybody,
pardons.
Clapper
I think the pardons were null and void because they were all done with the auto pen.
No, I'm talking about with Obama. I'm talking about
Okay, with Obama.
With everything going on with Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah.
Going towards the true timeline or what happened. To me, it's more or less like this is what Obama did was infect the left with the Trump derangement syndrome.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. That was it. That was it for almost 10 years.
Yeah, I know.
So with
and there's still some morons out there on Twitter that still believe that bullshit.
Yeah. And then even when I went home, I had some friends that were still in that mindset of y'all got Trump derangement syndrome and y'all need to break away from this. And we as conservatives have to engage these people that have that Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah.
As far as to say that first pill, I think when you gave it to me, when you gave it to me in 2005 was that one.
Yeah, I red pilled this guy.
I always say, do you believe in a government, any government that's best suited to run your life better than you?
Wow, I just got booted out of my own studio.
Wow. And that just saw me come up, and I'm like, that is it right there. That's the pill that goes down.
Yeah.
And then when they start to shake and oh, wait a minute. I don't want nobody to run my life. Then you start to come out.
Right.
But if you talk about, I need a government to do this, like what's his name? I ran my Mambi.
Yeah, I think it's Mamdani. Yeah.
Mandami. Yeah, him. The
Every
guy
Democrat in the city in politics is working to get rid of him.
And then we got one in Minneapolis.
Who's that?
The young fella.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, we got another one in Minneapolis that's running for mayor with the same stuff. Oh, help me out. Help Rich out with the you guys know out there.
I don't know.
Oh, yes.
What are you talking about? Young guy in Minneapolis
that's running for mayor that has the same viewpoints as Mandani.
All right, let's see. Minneapolis mayor, Dwayne Davis, Howard Dotson, Kevin Dwyer, Omar Fatah.
There you go. You got it.
Yes. Oh yeah, he's a goofy looking motherfucker.
Yes.
Hold on, let me show everybody what this guy looks like. He's
wow,
real winner. Here's his wiki page.
He's a Somali.
Yeah.
He's an American. He was born here.
Oh, okay.
But his family has indoctrinated him with the same mindset as Mandami in New York.
He's in the Minnesota Senate right now.
Yes.
So why would he want to run for mayor?
To control the people. The same ideology that Mandami has. Remember when it was said to us before that America would not be conquered from outside, it will be inside. And these are the seeds that these young people do not know.
Bad. You heard about Polycom, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's the cure for TDS. You saw my commercial?
Yeah. I showed it
it
to a couple of my friends. They liked it. But when I showed it to, my wife, they didn't like it. So I already see where it goes.
Yeah, I'm going to play it.
Yeah. But like you say, while I'm down here,
you experience
that right there. Go ahead, play it.
Yeah, I'm going to play it. Hang on. Are we streaming this one? Yeah.
Are you experiencing uncontrollable fast eye blinking, light palsy, stammering, and overbearing snobbery every time you hear the words, "Make America Great Again"? Are your conversations at dinner turning into debates? Do family gatherings feel like congressional hearings? Do you find yourself engaging in heated conversations with your 6 cats about political policies? Have you been found wild-eyed, naked, frothing at the mouth, and writhing on the floor? Have your friends described blackouts you suffered where you kept staring into space, repeating things like Russian collusion, he is Hitler, and Joy Reid was right? If you said yes to any of these, then you suffer from Trump derangement syndrome. But don't worry, introducing Polycalm, the revolutionary new treatment designed to bring peace back to your household. Crafted by top scientists at RPW Media with a sense of humor and a pinch of irony, Polycalm is clinically proven to reduce symptoms of TDS levels 1 through 5. That's right, no more sudden outbursts at family dinners or knee-jerk unfriending people on social media. No more yelling at people for going into a Walmart through the exit door instead of the welcome side. Polycalm might cause sudden side effects such as extreme agreeableness, an unusual interest in gardening, and a sudden urge to discuss the weather. If you find yourself agreeing to a family game night, consult your recreational therapist immediately. Other side effects include an increased sense of humor, a sudden understanding of different perspectives, and in rare cases, an uncontrollable urge to watch Fox News. Polycalm. Because sometimes we all need a little help to stay sane in a world that seems a bit crazy. Available wherever laughter and open conversations are found. Polycalm is not available in stores and doesn't actually exist. But hey, wouldn't it be great if it did? Until then, liberals remember a little laughter and love of country can go a long way. And stop being a dick. Fact checkers. Polycalm is not a real medication. We're just screwing around. Polycalm is intended for humorous purposes only. Always seek professional advice for serious medical conditions like Trump derangement syndrome.
Just relax.
Trump derangement syndrome. We have to combat that. We have to combat that.
Yeah, I know. It's still out there, man.
Oh,
it really is. You got people like you ever go on Blue Sky?
No.
Oh, I created an account and I post there. I am driving them absolutely batshit. I'm driving them toys in the attic, batshit crazy because I'm posting.
To post your pill.
Yeah, I post all my stories.
Believe in a government, any government that's best suited to run your life better than you. That's the pill.
That's what
then
I
they
said
start to
that's what I said.
Give me more. Give me more.
Yeah, he took the heart. We gotta get your channel up, man.
All right. And you're gonna be my first guest.
Good. I'll do it.
All right.
I'll do it. Man,
Yo, I know you will. I know you will.
Put 42's link for anybody that hasn't been there, but I think everybody here goes to 42.
Yeah.
We'll be on the show tomorrow night. He graciously let me do the.
I'll be on there tomorrow also.
The right to return. All right. Yeah,
I'll be on there also.
Well, I'll send it to you. I'll text you. But
yeah, text
I'm
me
gonna
on
put
that.
it in the description. Tonight.
Look, we need this to get out there all kinds of ways because if we don't do anything between now and next year, these libtards are going to try their best to win.
I'll tell you what, here's breaking news. Rasmussen just the other day, he was on from Rasmussen Reports. He said that the Democrats are poised to take the midterms.
I know. Yeah.
And he said, and the reason why is because they're just lying nonstop. That's what they do, right? They're just lying. But the Republican messaging is like non-existent. They think that because like we passed a big, beautiful bill, they fought hard to do it and they got it in. Muscle tough, okay? But the problem is most people don't know all the good things that bill is going to do for their lives. They don't realize it because they don't talk about it. They don't brag about it.
Right, exactly.
They got to go out
That's
there.
why we have to tell them what's in
That's
it.
That's why I'm
we
here.
We got to do that. We have to do that.
That's why I'm here, bro. But the thing is that they don't do town halls. They don't even do teletown halls. They don't brag about it. They should really brag about it, but it's because they're a bunch of pussies. The Republicans, they're a total bunch of pussies, and they don't know how to handle when a libnut goes up and says, "Oh, so you want kids to starve and Granny to die?" And it's like your best response is go fuck yourself.
That's another thing. Each time when the libs start coming out with that stuff, we have to check them right then and there.
He's right. We must imprint
we need receipts. We got receipts.
42 is right. He says we must imprint our views into pop culture. Why? Because politics is downstream from culture. We learned that from Breitbart, Andrew Breitbart.
Yes.
Politics is always downstream from culture. Once you get the culture right, then the politics follows. It always does.
Yes. Yes. We have to get them soon as they come out. When Pelosi start to say something, we have to come out and we have to answer that.
Oh yeah,
Damn.
she's
Show
a
me.
wackadoodle anymore.
Anybody. AOC.
Yeah, she's not of her right mind. But well, you know what? They're down to 19% now.
I know.
The
But
Democrats are down to 19%. You got Hakeem Jeffries. Everybody watched the video today.
That's dangerous. Even though 19%, that's dangerous. That's very dangerous.
Well, see, the problem is what they're doing all throughout history, political parties that are dying, okay, what they do is they forsake their base because they figure they're never going to leave, right? So what they do is they go and they try to grab the more radical people of the movement. And the reason why is they think, well, we're just going to bring more people in. So if we become radical ourselves, which is what we're seeing with the Democrats, right? This is why they're always on the 20% of the 80-20 issue. But what happens is, and they should know this because it happens all throughout history. What happens is when they bring in enough radical people, the normies start walking away. And that's what we're seeing right now. The normies are like, wait a minute. They believe if a man puts on a dress and declares he's a woman, he's really a woman? Really? All right, well, I'm going to go over there to that red state, with the freedom. You know what I mean? That's what really happens. In fact, did anybody watch my video? There's a thing coming up where we're probably going to get 7 more House seats. And the libnuts are going out of their freaking mind. And the reason why, I think there's 3 in California we're going to get. And it's because the redistricting they're doing in Texas, they started it. And Hakeem Jeffries is out there saying, I can't believe it's never been done before. It's unprecedented that they're doing redistricting in the middle of a decade. And I'm sitting there going, you guys did it under Obama. So when you do it, it's for fairness in elections. But when they do it, it's to cheat. Let me see. Hold on. Not only that, the records need to match pop cultures for historians to understand the time. Yes, absolutely. This is why I like 42, because 42 will bring history into it. And if you go over there, they're from the UK. They're from Ireland, England, Scotland, all that. And I love going in and listening because he gives history lessons, and I eat that stuff up myself because I have family over there. So I like that a lot. Let's see.
Now, the other thing, Rich, you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, the other thing that the libtards are going to try,
right,
is with this issue that's going on with Tulsi Gabbard and bringing Obama, whatever, and all this stuff going on. They're going to try to indicate to the African American community, the Black community,
yeah,
do you want this Trump to they want to try to take away the Black support away from Trump?
It's not going to happen. Now, I'm not going to say that more Black voters are going to go over to Trump, but it's not going to happen. The ones that already voted for him, because they're seeing the changes right in front of them, and they're smart enough to know. Look, like the idiots on the left are saying, like on day 2, it was like, well, how come the prices haven't gone down yet? You said on day 1. I mean, they're just jackasses. But they're seeing it, but they know, okay, for any policy changes that come in, you don't normally have the results right away. But see, the Republicans got to step up their messaging. They really do.
Exactly. They want to leave it to us, the grassroots people.
Yeah,
on this down here, the podcasters. We have to thump it to them. Don't listen to that stuff that's out there. Y'all know better than this. You really do.
See, what I worry about, though, Chris, is that these communities, Hispanic and Black communities that are coming over, welcome. But the problem is, I think that when Trump's gone, right, and J.D. Vance comes in, J.D. Vance is totally in line with America First policies. Totally. Okay, he picked the right guy, right? But are they going to leave because they're not Trump? He's not Trump. Because J.D. Vance is not as, let's be honest, crude, which I love him for, Trump. Trump fights back. J.D. does too, but he sounds like a Yale law professor shunning you. when he does it, because he's an intelligent guy. He always gets over on it, but it's not like the 1-2 punch that Trump puts out.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I really do. But I think he learned from Trump, and he knows if he had to do the F-bombs, he will.
That's what he's doing too. He's doing that right now.
He's doing the F-bomb because they got all the rest of those libtards now. All of them. Obama say, "Get tough. You got to go out there and you got to tell them you're going to be tough." And then everybody out there doing F-bombs. Beto O'Rourke and California. What's his name? California. Gavin Newsom.
Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newscum.
Yeah, Gavin Newscum. And then Miss Texas girl with the eyelashes.
Oh, Jasmine Crockett. Yeah.
Okay,
she's another.
Yeah, she's another one.
She's garbage.
All those out there, I mean, people, you got to wake up and see that.
Yep, you're right.
They're in shambles. The Democratic Party are in shambles. They are cuckoo.
Yeah, they're going down, and the only reason
they're
why
fighting for something
they're still around at all is because of the media. The media supports them to the hilt, but that's okay. Let them support them to the hilt because the media is losing themselves too.
That's what I was going to say. The media is losing themselves, and then with ABC, The View. I don't
real low. Yeah, did you hear about that? They're halting The View. They're
They
putting them on a
might be
they're
going
putting them on a
to,
hiatus.
ABC is losing
I don't
money.
know if they're coming
also.
back. Here it is.
I don't think they're coming back. Just like what's his name? Stephen Colbert, who's from South Carolina, need to be gone out of here.
He's gone. He's
From
done
South
it.
Carolina, but he
December.
lives over there in California.
I think in December he's out. Yeah, I think so.
Well, no, next May. But that's everybody's getting it wrong. It's more or less of a merger of Paramount and another company where the other company wants to purchase their growing assets, and then he's losing $40 million, and they're losing, and they're cutting him off.
Yeah.
And then they want to say Trump has something to do with it. Trump ain't got nothing to do with that. That's between me and this company. I don't want the dead asset. He's gone. So that's what I was saying. I bet you when he leaves, I bet you $1 to a bucket of donuts, they're going to put a news program right behind the news of local to put right in there.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
And it's going to be a left-wing news news outlet.
Trying to go up and buy up all the talk radio stations because conservatives own talk radio.
And then
Leanne, you want to come in? I'll give you the invite.
Yeah, come on in, Leanne. Come on in. And I'll bet you any amount of money that when
the invite
Colbert leaves, they're gonna bring a news organization right in that slot.
Yeah.
And then Colbert is gonna go right back to Comedy Central, where he come from.
Yeah. I didn't think he was funny even when he was supposedly funny. I just never did. I didn't think he was funny at all.
Watching the times that I did watch it, he was always bringing in.
He's losing $40 million a year now.
Losing,
and so what are they saying? Oh, it's Trump's fault.
Yeah, well, you know they gotta blame somebody.
Yeah.
Everything that Trump is doing is bettering the American people, and the left don't see it.
Well, half of them are so batshit crazy radical that they don't care what you do for America if you don't do it the way they want it done. And then the other half are the ones that can't stand the fact that it's Trump that's doing all these good things because it makes them look bad. Because Trump, I mean, think about it. They've been telling us for years the things that they want to do, and they never did it. And Trump says, "Here, hold my beer." And he goes over, and even though he doesn't drink, he goes over and gets it done.
And he does it.
I mean, think about it. There's a shit ton of things that Trump has done that politicians have said for years they wanted to do, and they didn't.
And he comes in and he does it.
Yeah, he just goes in and does it.
You wasn't supposed to do that. We were supposed to do that. When?
Hollywood to be woke and liberal. You mean USAID? They gave the stations, the movie productions, tons of money. I don't know.
Push the agenda. What?
Yeah,
right?
I don't know. I don't know who did that. The group that pays TV and Hollywood to be woke and liberal. I don't know. I just think they're liberal just because they are.
No, it was a process on why they became liberal with the small, minute people
I don't know.
that wanted to be recognized.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Open Society? Yeah, that's George Soros's Open Society. Is that who you're talking about, Andromeda?
Oh.
Started long before that. Oh wow. Yeah, they've been infiltrating for decades now.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
The Operation Mockingbird got into like decades ago, infiltrated all the newsrooms. You know, that's the CIA is in there, and they're there to give stories the way the government wants it to be done. Yeah, they've been in there for decades, and it's real. There was a hearing about it, and they admitted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was more or less like, so what? What you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly. Crazy, man.
Yeah, it is. It sure is.
Just absolutely crazy. Let me see. I got something here. Where is it? There it is. Red pill, blue pill. Let me see if I can save that. That'd be fun. It has the same effect. Flavor. Don't recall it being brown. It's kind of funny. What the hell was that? All right, let's close that. Let me see if there's anything else. Leanne, you coming in? Russia Gate District. Nah. Let's do this. I want to find something to go over here. Yeah, she was given, Ghislaine Maxwell was given limited immunity. She wants a pardon.
If that would shut the Democrats up, I would do it.
Oh, yeah.
I would do it and say, okay, check. You'll move. If you think about it, check. You'll move. Yeah. We're still going with Obama.
Yeah.
Check. You'll move.
Yeah. I know. Well, yep. Obama's days are ending, like right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his days are ending. For the longest time, they still thought that Obama shit ice cream and rainbows, but
he's a politician. I don't give a crap if he's black, white, purple, blue, or gray.
Yeah, there's
he's
even
a politician.
Yeah, there's even talk about him and Michael getting divorced.
But
yeah.
They talk about the Michael thing. Michelle, she's a woman. I
don't think so. Saying. I don't think
she's
so.
Nothing. I would.
Let off Democrat doom casting.
She always reminded. You know what, Rich? She always reminded me of like when my sister or my cousins had those baby dolls with the heads, and then you smash their head in. That's what she looked like to me. She's something that I would not, send home to mama.
Yeah.
Excuse me, get out the way. I want that one over there. No, I'm sorry. She's not my cup of tea. And I know a lot of people that felt the same way. Okay, she's a good lady. But she's not my cup of tea.
Right. Hang on. Trying to find it here. Hold on. Can we see it? All right. I'm trying to get the Ellen show where Michael was on there dancing. Are you familiar with what I'm talking about?
She was dancing and doing the.
Yeah, when you saw the Schwanz bouncing all over her pants.
I'm not a fan of Michael or Michelle, but nah. Nope. I'm not a fan of hers.
Well, they thought that they scrubbed it all. Well, here's a picture.
She got 2 daughters. Come on now, don't say Michael.
Oh, the daughters. No, it's already proven the daughters were adopted from friends of theirs. They don't look anything like them. All right, here you go. Here's one for you.
Like
I'm gonna have fun with this, brother. I'm gonna have fun with this. Here you
go. Okay.
Ready? Look. That's Michael right there. See the picture? That's Michael.
No.
Michael. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that was Michael. There's other pictures that are worse,
dude,
that show them hanging out together.
Oh.
And there she is. She died a few weeks after she said that Michelle was a tranny. Yeah. There you go. Right there. See it? Right there?
No.
Yes.
I'm sorry, bro. No, that's a woman.
No,
I'm sorry. That's an ugly woman.
I don't
that's
think
an
so.
ugly woman.
Ugly woman. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an ugly woman. I'm
You're
sorry.
Ugly woman, bigot.
Hey,
yeah.
That's an ugly woman. That's all she is.
Oh wow.
I'm like with the dog. When I see her and doing that, right? Go back. Go. Oh, Rich. If you go back to that. That's exactly it. I'm that dog with the ball looking at her dancing. Nope. I'm not with it. Nope, I'm not with it. Y'all can say Michael. I say
that anatomically isn't there, but is moving back and forth where nothing should be. Yeah, that was on Ellen. You saw the Schwanstucker bouncing all over the place when she was dancing. Then there's the one clip where she's coming out of a building and she checks the package to get into the car. Come on. Then there's the picture of them getting out of the limo at the airport, and she and Barack is ahead of her, laughing his ass off because she's standing there yelling about the bump in her fucking dress.
No.
Came out of the harness and she has to push it back. And he's standing there laughing. He's like, because he knows she has to go through that. Yeah.
No, man, don't go there, man. Don't go there.
You, man, that's what it was.
I know.
Wouldn't have gone commando, exactly.
No.
There you go.
Ew.
Chris Utter, you don't think it's attractive because you are straight and he's a man. That's true.
Well, thank you, Uncle Bobby.
That's true. Yeah.
Yes, I am married.
Left push,
and I love women.
Born communist that married a man. That's the legacy. That's exactly right. Shouldn't have gone commando. Let's see. Well, it's almost 9:30.
What?
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Sometimes I take it late. Let me see. Speaker Johnson announces House committee. Oh, look at that. Oh, shit.
Uh-oh.
Oh, here we go.
Uh-oh.
Hang on. Let me bring it up. Let me bring it up. Hold on. Speaker Johnson announces new House committee on J6. They created a new committee for that because they broke the law so much. House Speaker Mike Johnson announced on Thursday that Republicans would pursue passage of a resolution to form a new subcommittee that would investigate events surrounding January 6, 2021 Capitol breach. If the resolution introduced by Barry Loudermilk, who's becoming really popular in Georgia right now, is approved by the House, it would authorize the creation of the second House panel dedicated to exploring the events of January 6th. Only this time, it will look at the role of corrupt Republicans and Democrats, including Nancy Pelosi, who is responsible for protecting the Capitol. It's her role to do so, with Mitch McConnell bearing a secondary role. Exactly, because then they're Sergeant at Arms report to them. Pelosi lied continuously about Trump. For example, she claimed he didn't offer her or request National Guard. He did offer, and she needed to request the Guard. In a report issued in December 2024, the committee alleged a litany of errors in how the original January 6th panel had managed its investigation, recommending potential criminal investigations into Cheney and calling the panel improperly constituted and lacking authority. Yeah, I'm all for this. Because anytime I'm a hawk on government corruption. I mean,
now, will this be shown on television?
Yeah, well,
a panel, let me finish, Rich, on a panel of January 6th, what really happened from the coverage that was done by, or that Oh, what's his name? What's his name? What's his name? What's his name?
What?
Oh,
I know who you're talking about.
yeah. He was the one that had all of the footage
Of what?
of January 6th, what we did not see, what the panel saw, but we didn't see.
Yeah, but the panel, everybody on that panel was there to rig it against Trump. Everybody.
Exactly, yeah.
Including the two token rhinos.
So we need, and then what
Bobbity
network
leaving?
is going to be? Huh?
Is Bobbity leaving? Oh, there we go.
No,
Yeah.
don't leave.
Nah, he's probably got to get dinner.
Right? Okay, all right.
Yeah. All right, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Man, thanks.
Thanks for being here, brother.
Oh,
He's one of the funniest guys I've seen.
Okay.
Maybe a stand-up. Yeah, he's real good. He's quick-witted too. Love that.
OAN1, OAN, Newsmax,
right?
Fox need to.
Yeah, Newsmax is growing now.
Yes.
My old guy David Harris Jr. is on Newsmax now.
I know. And OAN.
He called me like 6 months ago, asked me if I wanted to write for him for the show. I said, yeah, I'll do it. How much? He said, I'll work it out. Never heard from him again because what happened was they told him, no, we have a union and the writers from the union have to do it. So, and I found that out, but it would have been nice if he told me.
Tucker Carlson. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh,
the footage that footage that Tucker Carlson has. Yeah, the footage that Tucker Carlson has, that needs to be. OAN is a good network too.
Yeah, well, that's one of the best out there.
Yes,
they're not popular because they don't have a big budget, but
and this would be their
report
right
the news.
now.
Liz Wheeler's from there.
Yep, that's where they're being. So if Speaker Johnson wants to put this out there, you're gonna get Fox, you're gonna get Newsmax, and you're gonna get AON, and then you're gonna get people to start to come in now. They're gonna start to say, hey, yo, okay.
He didn't actually. He had some, and he released it, and then the libnuts went out of their effing minds, and they called Schumer called Paul Ryan, who's on the board at Fox, who hates Trump, and he said, fire him now. And they had to wait a little bit so it didn't look like they did it because because Schumer knew that when he was releasing the videos that were given to him from January 6th, he knew that their entire bullshit story would have been unveiled.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what he was worried. That's what they were worried about.
You
can't have them throw that. What you mean? You mean the actual video footage from the government?
Exactly.
So well, he's manipulating. No, he just played it. See, because they tried to say that the shaman, right? They tried to say, well, he broke in through the windows like everybody else.
No, he did not.
Says, look, here he is walking.
He's walking in.
Open the door.
He said, "Hi, how y'all doing?"
Here he is walking in with everybody else. He wasn't going through the windows, but they made him the bad guy. Because he went around dressed like a jackass with the horns and everything.
But still, he did not.
It's like 40,000 hours.
He did not be the belligerent to anybody. He said, "Hi, how y'all doing?"
Yeah.
The first video that you saw, he waved his hand. He said, "Hi, how y'all doing?" And he walked in.
The velvet rope insurrection. I always say it. I say, yeah, they're really desperados when they went in there taking selfies and adhering to the rules of the velvet ropes.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. There's so much shit these people did. See, that's what I was afraid of too, Chris. Dig this. I was afraid that they did so much shit over the last 4 years. I mean, so much incredibly communist bullshit, dystopian stuff, that I was afraid that the Republicans would be spending all their time just going after them to make justice, seen. And then they would get nothing done. But no, they're getting a lot of shit done, and they're still going after them. I think that's because everybody relies on Trump. Like, okay, Trump tells them this is what I want, and they go, okay, we'll work towards that. Because they just trust Trump's instincts, which I do too. So
wow.
Yeah,
wow. Wow. that's why I say we have to educate those out there that when the pun or when the senators and House people don't do nothing, we have to do it. We got to educate those out there.
Yep.
I'm an African American. I'm black. I'm in America. I was born here.
You're black? Holy shit! When did this happen?
Really? Really, Rich?
Yeah.
But we got to get those whatever in and say, look, this is the truth. This is what's going on for the last, 8, 9, 10 years now?
Yeah, a lot of bullshit, man.
Bull crappy crap.
They got balls, the Democrats, some of the shit that they pulled. Holy cow.
And they go out there quick, fast, and hurry and say, see what they do, see what the Republicans do. They this, they that, this, that, and that. They for the rich people. How can you be for the rich people when you gave everybody a tax break?
Right.
And it wasn't for the rich, it was for you.
Yeah, well, they did a study on it and looked at the numbers, and working class people got a higher percentage of a tax cut. But then the libnuts come out and go, yeah, well, rich people got more money. Well, because they paid more money, you moron.
They did.
No, they did because they paid more in taxes, but they got a lower rate than middle class people, but they got more money back because, I mean, if you pay $1 million in taxes, you're going to get more back than somebody who paid $10,000 in taxes. That's what I'm saying. And they don't understand that because they're libnuts.
Right. And it's always Trump, 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 because they hear from ABC, NBC, CBS, PBS. Hey, wait a minute. When did Sesame Street need more money?
Yeah, I know. They got all that merchandising, for goodness sake. I mean, think about all the money they make on the merchandising.
Sesame Street rivals all the rest of everybody, Disney.
Yeah.
But we got to give money to We got to give money to Disney.
Yeah, they do make a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah. Come on now.
Well, guys, it is 9:30, and I'm gonna call it a night if y'all don't mind. I'm getting a little tired. We've been here 3 hours and 36 minutes. God bless you all. Do me a favor. Hit that like button before you leave, please. Also, another reminder. I'm going to be on 42's show tomorrow night for the right to return. I'll put the link inside the description. Once again, thank you guys for being here. Chris, love you as always.
As well, bro. As well.
All right, guys. Thank you very, very much. Have a great night. Watch my videos. Bring your friends next week.
Yes, I will.
Say goodbye to Dr. Jade as well. All right.
Remember, man, it's never goodbyes. I'll see you soon. Talk to you soon.
All right, man. See you guys. See you, brother Jimmy. Later. Here, we're out.